Does it work? All right. Apologies for that. Technical difficulties here. Power taken on the Santa Clarita victory. Again, E.J. Sanchez, Stephen Buxton here for the broadcast tonight. On the mound tonight, Trevor Eby for the Power. He'll be taking on, leading off, Scotty Piper as he pounds in a first pitch strike. That's right off the end of the bat, fielded by Eby. Throw down to first, way high. Piper's going to go down to second, and Dalton Thomas is chasing after it in right field, throws it back, caught by Isaiah Monge. And right away, the Santa Clarita victory have a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, Steven, that's actually extremely uncharacteristic. We talked to Casey Dill yesterday, and he said the main thing that he really liked about this ball club in the early going was how good of defense they have played. Only one error going into last night, and here they come here early. And Trevor knows it. He's frustrated with himself. That's a ball he has to tuck away, give up the hit, and not allow any extra base runners. But already, maybe the first runner, or first leadoff runner, I should say, in these 4 games that have reached first against the Power.
Eby's got an appearance already. He went 3 innings. He didn't allow a run, a couple hits, but a relatively clean outing last week. Again, he'll face off against Scotty Piper, who led it off as Aaron Chazin grounds it right up the middle. That's fielded by Thomas. Throw over to first is on time. But at the same time, Scotty Piper moves over to third.
It's a productive team at bat, and 2 first-pitch swinging at-bats that we've seen here from the victory. And you got to love that. I mean, again, we talked about it. It's a summer ball game. You want to get your A swings off, and if Eby's leaving some pitches over the middle of the plate, if you're the victory, you should be swinging early.
Jared Cantu, the catcher, hitting 3 for the victory. Then it's Tommy Mendoza, Lance Middleman, C.J. Wick, Tommy Ruther, Alex Mia, and Grant Pierce to round it out for the victory. The Power defensively, it's Eby on the mound, Richie Amavisca at third base, Isaiah Monge at shortstop, Dalton Thomas at second, Austin Haller at first, Derek Houston behind the plate, Mark Kirkland, Aiden Turek, and Noah Blythe round out the outfield, as Trevor Eby gets ahead 0-2 against Jared Cantu. Kicks and deals off the end of the bat. That's going to be fielded by Amavisca at third, who's got no play there. Run scores from Scotty Piper, and that's going to be an infield single for the victory early on, going up 1-0.
And none of these balls have been hit particularly hard. In fact, 2 of them were just hit right into the ground. But this is what happens. This is when you try to avoid those 2 strike counts. And as the old adage goes, Steven, when you put balls in play, good things happen, and it's led to a run early. And the first time the Power have trailed all season long.
Yeah, the Power, it's been about as unsuspenseful as a season could possibly be, as the first pitch from Eby is fouled off. They really haven't trailed at all. It's been a couple 10-plus run wins. Yesterday, again, it was 11-3. They've been averaging well over 10 runs a game. Took 2 from the Mavericks last weekend, and they're hoping to take the second win of the week today against the Santa Clarita victory. Eby's 0-1 pitch hits Tommy Mendoza. And the victory are going to have runners on first and second.
And this is just uncharacteristic right now for Eby. He's going to have to find a way to try to minimize this inning. But you saw it right there again, a first pitch swinging there from Mendoza. 3 of the first 4 victory batters have swung at the first pitch, signaling they know that Eby's going to try to lead with that fastball, and it's worked out well for them so far. See what Eby goes with here to try to get himself out of a jam.
Lance Middleman, the DH for the victory, steps up to the plate. And Eby last time around, again, through 3 innings, didn't hit anyone. He did walk 2, though. Struck out 3. Middleman takes time right there. Home plate umpire John Mejia allows it. Stu Gibbs out there in the field as Mejia tells the man on deck, C.J. Vick, to back up a little bit. Eby out of the stretch, gets the sign. First pitch, inside. 88 from Eby, fastball down and in against Middleman.
And in his last start, Eby was trying to lead with that fastball. We've alluded to it a couple of times, but if the victory are going to jump over early count fastballs, you might have to rely on that curveball that he was telling us about just a couple of days ago that he really tried to hone in the second half of the season at UT Arlington.
1-0 pitch Off the end of the bat, it's going to be infield fly ball. Dalton Thomas takes that in for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that was badly needed, and that was more along the line of what we've seen from Trevor. He goes in on the hands of Middleman, and Middleman tried to get his hands extended, couldn't get there, and now Eby has a chance to get out of this, only allowing one run.
C.J. Wick, the first baseman, comes up to hit, and he'll have 2 runners on, 2 outs. Power already down 1-0 here in the first inning. Eby's first pitch. Catches the corner for a strike.
There's the adjustment there, a 78-mile-an-hour curveball that just finds the outer half. He's going to have to be able to move both sides of the plate, especially with the offensive approach that the Victory have come out with tonight.
The Power have done a good job so far, really attacking the zone, but they've worked a lot of deep counts as this is a quick one, though. A line drive out to deep center field off the warning track. Aiden Torque gets it, throws it in, but that's going to be another RBI. Into second, C.J. Wick, and scoring is Jared Cantu from second. 2-0 victory.
It's an 87-mile-an-hour fastball that was left over the heart of the plate, and when you have a guy like Lance Middleman who's transferring from San Francisco, he's not going to miss that pitch, and Aiden Torque was on his horse the whole way, and the fact that it still one hops the 400 sign in center field shows that that ball was tagged. Middleman nearly got every inch of that.
Power in rare territory here, down 2. Again, 2 outs here in the first. First pitch cut on, fouled back by Tommy Ruther, the shortstop.
Ruther, an attendee of Missouri S&T last season, trying to find a way to add some insurance here early. And the Power, as you've said, Stephen, a place they haven't seen all season long, and maybe a little time for a gut check here early.
It's not like they haven't allowed runs, but they've been able to get the innings over quick as that gets in there for a strike. 0-2 count, 2 outs. They've been able to get out of trouble, end innings quick, limit the damage. So it's going to be interesting to see if Trevor Eby right here could get out of this with the 0-2 count, 2 outs here against Tommy Ruther. In the dirt, curveball, ball 1.
A good opportunity there for Eby just to try to waste the pitch. If that curveball has as much bite as he's been talking about, it's a good time to do it. But now you're seeing a little bit of a 2-strike approach here from Ruther.
And when you talk about bite, that pitch had 15 inches of drop on it as the 1-2 pitch outside of the zone right there. It's 2-2. Two outs. 2-0 victory here. Deuces Wild in the first, 2 on. Eby kicks and deals, outside, full count.
And if you're Tommy Ruther here, you got to be sitting on something on the outer half of the plate. Eby hasn't shown the ability to go to that side with the fastball. He's looking to get his foot down and then just try to shoot something and use the big part of the field up the middle. Let's see what Trevor goes with.
Ruther out of Washington, Missouri. Sees the full count pitch and swings and misses there. Trevor Eby gets out of a jam, but the Power down early. 2-0, top of the lineup, due up. We'll be right back for the bottom of the first.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is
Welcome back. Bottom of the first here in Palm Springs. Palm Springs Power down early, down 2-0 against the Victory. Jorge Martinez on the mound for the Victory against Isaiah Mongi leading it off. Ball 1 outside for the Victory. They've got Scotty Piper out there in center, Aaron Chazen, and it's Tommy Mendoza out there in the outfield. As Mongi grounds it, gets almost through the hole, long throw from the shortstop, gets by. That's C.J. Wick at first base. Catcher Jared Cantu in there covering. So Mongi doesn't get any further, but a tough play for Tommy Ruther early on.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it that was a hit there, and I like what Mongi's approach there is early. You get punched in the face in the top half of the inning. You're looking to hit your way on. He finds a way to do that there, and he gets to pass the baton here to the Western Kentucky University man, Austin Haller, who went 2 for 5 last night.
Austin Haller in there. First pitch. Catches the zone for strike 1. Again, Jorge Martinez on the mound. And for the Power, the lineup goes Mongi, Haller, Noah Blythe, then Mark Kirkland, Aiden Torek, Dalton Thomas, Richie Amavisca, and then Derek Houston and Nick Eli rounded out at the bottom. Haller already in a 1-1 count. He's got a runner on. It's Mongi from that infield single. Ball inside. Haller got hit by it. Must have nicked the elbow guard right there. He'll go down to first. Mongi down to second. And just like that, Noah Blythe, who seems like he's been in every single big spot for the Power so far this season. Well, he's already in another one with a chance to possibly tie it if he could get one in the gap.
Well, not only that has he been involved in it, he's come through in those situations, Stephen. Leads the team in 3 separate categories, including RBIs. He leads the team with 7.
Blythe already hitting around 500, or well over 400. Fouls that one down the right field line, past the stands.
Had a 2 for 5 night last night and was voted one of the players of the game for the Power in that victory that you mentioned against the Southern Nevada Coyotes.
Even 500 on the year, 462 on base percentage. As he chops that one down to third, gets the throw over to second, throw to first, not going to be in time. Haller in there enough to break up the double play along with Noah Blythe's speed. And it's going to be runners on first and third for Mark Kirkland.
And that's a heck of a play over there by C.J. Wick. He has to understand that you have to cut your losses at that point. You know you're not going to finish off the double play, but you cannot let that run score. He does that, but still a big spot here for Mark Kirkland, who is trying to get off the schneid a little bit from last night, only a knock after having 3 in the previous 2 games.
Kirkland watches a first pitch strike. Power haven't been in this situation yet this year. They're riding a 22-game win streak dating back to last season, a year in which they went 31-1. 0-1 pitch, low for a ball.
You know, it's important here for Mark to get a pitch that he can drive into the gap. We talked a little bit with him during BP the other day, and he says his main problem is when he gets a little swing happy. As an off-speed pitch delivered there from Martinez, and that's an example of it right there. Mark has struggled slightly trying to get the pitch that he can drive into the gaps.
And for some of these guys, it's a bit of an adjustment in approach coming over to this ballpark from their different high schools and colleges that they've had to play at. I mean, almost none of them play in a stadium this big. as that 1-2 pitch is well outside. Good job by Cantu keeping it in front of him.
The one thing that Mark does do, though, is he does not expand. Although he does get a little happy in the zone, he does lead the team in walks with 5.
Yeah, it's basically 2 guys leading that category, as Blythe was running there, but it's fouled off down the left field line into the stands. Still 2-2, 1 out. Power of runners on first and third. Again, it's Noah Blythe, Isaiah Monge, and Mark Kirkland up at the plate. And Jorge Martinez kicks and deals. And that one's fouled back. But again, it's a bit of a different environment over here because a lot of these guys, I mean, they can hit it over the fence, but if you're trying to hit it over that 350, get it 360, 70, a lot of them, it'll ruin their approach completely, so they have to kind of shift it to a more line drive, all fields approach.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. As Blythe's going to take a second here, but I like that you said that, Stephen, because, I mean, you see the dimensions here. 350 down both lines, 400 doesn't, maybe a little deep, and a little deep in the power alleys, but not all 350s are created equal in the sense that this is a graveyard here at historic Palm Springs Stadiums. It is hard to elevate the ball and get it over the fence. So like you said, it's more important to try to aim to use the big part of the field and just try to put barrels and let the rest fall where they may.
Full count here for Kirkland. And he drives that one straight to center. 2 runs could score. First comes Monge all the way around from third. And Noah Blythe is going to score on that too. It's 2-0 Power. Throw coming in from center field by Piper was late. And put 2 RBIs on the board for Mark Kirkland.
You know, it's just like we said. He just shortened up, didn't try to do too much with that swing, sent it right back up the middle, and Mark Kirkland back to doing Mark Kirkland things with 2 RBIs. And just like that, the Power answer back after the first time this season being down.
And mentioning how this place doesn't allow a ton of home runs. Well, this guy here, second game of the year, Aiden Torrek's got the only home run on the season for the Power. And man, has he hit some balls. Just hammered them to the warning track, to dead center field. In an 0-1 count right here. He's shown some power all year. A 1 pitch, driven out to deep center field. That one's going to go foul, though. Off the top of the batting cage. If he straightened that one out, that could have gone a long way.
Yeah, 72-mile-an-hour pitch, and he was able to get his hands extended and find a barrel there in the middle of his swing. And you got to think, if you're Jorge Martinez, that probably not going to go back to that pitch, at least in that spot, anytime soon.
For Martinez, he's going up against a guy who, he's not the biggest on the team, as Kirkland's running, but he's going to go back to first. Torek fouls that one right off the press box.
Mark Kirkland trying to add speed to his repertoire. He had a stolen base last night. He's run through a couple of stop signs, turned a couple of singles into doubles, and a double into a triple, if you remember, on opening night.
It's a different Mark Kirkland today. Trying to steal bases. He's playing left field tonight. 0-2 pitch, fouled back. Torek's still alive. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here for the Power. Tie the game 2-2 here in the bottom of the first. Again, Mark Kirkland on first base. Aiden Torek at the plate right now. And they're going against Jorge Martinez. Victory playing him straight up. Not shifting him like the entire Southern Nevada team did for the whole Power lineup yesterday. 0-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. Torek goes down with a strikeout, but now Dalton Thomas hoping to extend the inning for the Power.
Yeah, he's able to get in on the hands of Torek. Torek is at his best when he can hit that off-speed pitch and get his hands out. He just tied him up underneath, and it's a great pitch there by Martinez. An opportunity now for Dalton Thomas.
Thomas last night, he's still looking for a hit, but last night he had 2 RBIs, got a walk, and he hits a little chopper down to third base, bobbled, throw down to first in time to get Thomas. Power go down, leave Kirkland on first, but they strike back, put 2 on the board. We're tied up going into the top of the second here on the Power Broadcasting Network.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Family setting, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. They cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Welcome back. Top of the second here in Palm Springs. Power tied it up in the bottom of the first. It was a rare territory for them. They were down 2-0 early on, but now it's tied. Trevor Eby on the mound for the Power, and he'll be facing off bottom of the lineup. Alex Mia come up to the plate, their second baseman. It'll be Grant Pierce on deck. Mia fouls that one straight back into the parking lot.
It'll be interesting to see here if Trevor starts to switch up his approach a little bit from the first inning. We saw the Victory jump on a couple of fastballs, led to a couple of runs. We'll see if he tries to land some off speed here and then maybe pitch backwards and finish him off with that 90s fastball.
Eby with a breaking ball in there for a strike. Eby threw well last time, but like many of the Power pitchers, wasn't terribly efficient, hoping for a quick inning here. Another breaking ball cut on and missed, and he'll send Alex Mia down with the strikeout.
And if you want to talk about efficiency, that's a pretty good way to do it. A little good morning, good afternoon, good night there from Eby. And now let's see if he can start to settle into a little bit of a rhythm after going back-to-back breakers there on strike 2 and 3.
Grant Pierce in there for the Victory, one of their outfielders. Santa Clarita hoping to put up another crooked number. Fastball high. It'll be ball 1. Eby with the 1-0. Lands a breaking ball for a strike.
Now it's sort of a little bit on cue here, Steven, as we have talked about it over and over again. He's really trying to utilize the curveball. That time he goes front door on the inner half. Tries to switch up the eye level just a bit.
Off the end of the bat, back into the parking lot again. Grant Pierce fouls it off. It's 1-2. Eby fires it in, gets the corner, strikes him out. Grant Pierce with another K. Eby's third of the night. Scotty Piper will turn over the lineup for the Victory. Leadoff man reached on an error.
We really enjoyed talking to Trevor just about a week before opening night, Steven, about the approach that he's taken as Piper sees a strike. But going from pounding the zone every single pitch to being able to set up pitches, and that's really led to a little bit of a turnaround there, as we mentioned, in the second half of the season.
Yeah, it's a bit more of an aggressive approach than what he did in college. again, they were really trying to get him to pound the zone, avoid balls, avoid walks, and now it's trying to sequence, trying to set up different eye levels, different speeds, as he's here with the 1-1 pitch. Off the end of the bat, Manji ranging over to his right. Throw down to first in time. Austin Haller had to stretch for it, but 1-2-3 inning for the Power. Put up a 0, and they're back up to hit. Amaviska, Houston, and Nick Eli due up. We'll be right back for the bottom of the second.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back. Bottom of the second here in Palm Springs. Stephen Buxton, EJ Sanchez here. Power tied it 2-2 after going down 2-0 in the first. Bottom of the lineup due up. Richie Amaviska, the third baseman for the Power. He'll lead it off against Jorge Martinez. Martinez out of the windup, kicks and deals. And Amaviska swings right through the first pitch, 0-1.
Now, Richie just hoping to keep the ball off of him. He was hit twice last night, but has quickly turned into one of the fan favorites here in Palm Springs.
Amaviska watches the 0-1 pitch, drives that into center field, going back on it as Mendoza falls in front of him, and Amaviska's got a lead-on hit.
He catches a breaking ball at 65 miles an hour, and though his body went forward, he was able to keep his hands back long enough. He was able to just flick the barrel out and deposit it into left field. And back-to-back innings where the Power have a leadoff base runner on usually leads to good things. We'll see what happens here as Derek Houston approaches the plate.
Backstop for the Power. He's done a good job defensively so far, and he's trying to put the Power up here if he could get it in the gap. Watches a first pitch strike. Catches the corner. Houston so far looking for his first hit, but again, he's done a solid job defensively, blocking balls, getting strikes for the Power. And he gets that one off the hands, out into short right field, going back on it. That's Mejia. He'll catch it. And it'll be the first out of the inning for the Power.
Yeah, Derek's one of those guys, Steven, that I can't wait to have a conversation with through the season. He just finished up his freshman year at Utah Valley, but in high school, he was a absolute dude. Kanab High School Male Athlete of the Year just a couple of years ago, and after not getting too much playing time at Utah Valley, this is a summer where he really wants to get those reps back and get into form for his sophomore year.
Nick Eli, the Power's designated hitter, watches a first pitch strike. Martinez early on doing a good job pounding the zone, but the Power has been able to put the bat on the ball. Or 0-1 pitch goes outside for a ball, 1-1. Is there much to that? Is it, again, he's done a good job painting or hitting the zone, but again, the Power have been putting a bat on it. Is it like not being fine enough? Is just is it too many mistakes over the middle, or?
You know, what I got to say, Steven, is that it's really more of a mentality thing as Eli takes the pitch on the outer half. It's a mentality thing. It's almost, are you playing small ball or are you playing launch angle? And the same thing goes for pitching. You obviously never want to say you're purposely throwing balls out of the zone, but there is a certain point where you're throwing it too much in the zone to where you can start to key in on it, especially if it's over the heart of the plate. And that's really where all of these pitchers have to start honing in on their mentality. We saw Trevor Eby do it, but now with Martinez, you got to think that he's going to have to try to set up a couple of pitches, maybe use some of those off speed to try to come back in the zone later in the count with his fastball.
Martinez threw it back down to Amavisca, but down here to Eli, and that one's well above the zone, 3-1 count.
So I guess it's a long-winded way of saying, Steven, it really is what you prefer and what's not going to get you lit up every time you toe the rubber.
Nick Eli hoping to ruin that here. 3-1 count. And that catches the corner. Eli thought it was outside, thought he had a walk, but he'll go back for the full count. Nick Eli out of Salt Lake City. Committed to Newman University, went to College of the Desert, familiar with the staff, familiar with a lot of the guys on this team. And he's hoping to help them early on here. Full count. That one's well high. He'll go down to first, and he'll turn it over to the top of the lineup. Isaiah Monge had a single in the first, and he's got 2 on now.
And this summer also big for Isaiah Monge, as we both saw on social media just a couple of days ago, entered his name into the NCAA transfer portal. So a good summer here in Palm Springs would help.
Run down to throw down to third, and that gets out of the glove. Richie Amavisca is going to score on an error right there.
You got to love forcing the issue if you're the Power. A double steal with your leadoff batter up is not what you're looking for if you're Santa Clarita. But what he does here is he gets a great jump right off of the timing of Martinez. And because he comes in standing up and it's a little bit of a late throw, it forces the errant throw. And the Power forcing the issue on offense as they take their first lead.
Power have been solid defensively so far. Just, I want to say 3 errors on the year, including this one tonight. But early on, they've been able to take advantage of every single miscue another team's thrown at them. And right there, it shows up again. Victory throw a ball just a little high off the end of Price's glove. But now it's Nick Eli on second. Richie Amavisca comes in to score. Now they're up 3-2 with the top of the lineup up. One out here in Palm Springs.
No, again, I just love the move there from Casey Dill, just forcing the issue just a little bit, and I have to think that he was on the same page there with Richie Amavisca and getting the timings down from Martinez where he felt confident enough to make that call so early in the game.
Monge waiting for the first pitch from Martinez. And going back down to third, that's Nick Eli. He gets another stolen base. Power playing aggressive to the point where they're almost catching the victory with either flat-footed, falling asleep. I mean, behind the plate, Kansu didn't look ready for that at all, and once he was looking for it, ball came out of the glove. As Monge drives that one down to left field, going back on it, Mendoza, he'll catch it. But from third, Nick Eli's going to score, and the Power are up 4-2. Sacrifice fly for Isaiah Monge.
Team at-bats, and that's what we allude to when you're talking about manufacturing runs. And the Power haven't struggled scoring runs. We know they're going to score their runs throughout the season. But when you're not just hitting gap for gap, you got to be able to manufacture them just as they did there. You see a runner on third. The only thing you're trying to do as a hitter is lift a ball into the outfield, give your team a shot. And that's exactly what Monge did there for his 4th RBI of the season.
And it seems like clockwork, the Power. Another inning of 5-6 batters. Haller, the 6th of the inning. And it just wears pitchers out to a point. Haller takes that ball outside. Takes another one low, 2-0 count. got hit by a pitch, got taken out at second base, but prevented a double play, allowing Noah Blythe to score off of Mark Kirkland's single. And Haller will drive that into center field, ranging over as Piper, and he'll call for that and catch it for the third out. Power put up a pair. It's 4-2. We're going to the third inning. We'll be right back.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner,
back here for the third inning in Palm Springs. Power up 4-2 against the Santa Clarita Victory. We'll have number 49 for the Victory due up. Looks like there was a sub in there somewhere, because he's not on our lineup.
Welcome to summer baseball, Steven.
Yeah. Summer baseball, club hockey, it's all in that category.
Aaron Chazen should be batting in this spot, who grounded out in the first. We'll try to get a number as soon as we can.
Chazen should be due up, but hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's not any kind of injury. Right now it's Trevor Eby hoping for another quick inning. Again, had the 1-2-3 inning last inning, striking out a pair. And he let the Power get back up to hit, score a couple more runs. Up 4-2 after going down early. 4 runs, 3 hits, an error for the Power. And Trevor Eby on the mound for his third inning of work. 2-1 pitch, well outside.
And obviously you are never okay with giving up runs here, Steven, but especially after you put up another 2 spot, you take your first lead, it becomes all that much more important to have a shutdown inning here and get your team back to the bat racks to go back out and continue to put up these runs.
Eby, the hometown kid, kicks and deals, gets that one, catches the corner, full count.
The hometown kids around here, Steven, it's really going to be a story of the season. We talked a lot with them during BP that, you know, having a comfort factor during summer baseball becomes all more important.
Full count pitch, fouled down the right field line, into the parking lot. Eby came over here in 2019 for his junior year. Played JV that year with Palm Desert. Head coach Daryl Salazar over there. But then he played varsity senior year. Played at College of the Desert, and he'll walk the leadoff batter. Jared Cantu in after his RBI single in the first inning. Victory signal caller hoping to put up a crooked number here. Swings right through the breaking ball from Eby.
Already has singled and scored in Cantu, 385 average in his last season, so no slouch at the plate, especially when you're going right on left here. Trevor's got to be careful with the dangerous bat of Cantu.
Trevor Eby with a man on first. Fires in the 0-1 pitch, a little outside. Ball 1. Fastball right there, 87. A little out and a little away. Eby with the 1-1 pitch. Outside again. Ball 2.
So Trevor getting a little outside of his mechanics right here. If you notice, we'll tell you for the folks back at home, his landing point has been a little different on each of his pitches right now. He's usually a guy that might tail off a little more to his glove side, and right now his front side is closed off, and that's kind of causing a little bit of these miscues.
Eby, that one gets away from him. Hits Cantu. He'll go down to first. Warner will go down to second. And it'll be two on to lead off the inning. Tommy Mendoza, the left fielder, coming in to hit.
Yeah, the Providence kid. And, these 3, 4, 5 guys, no slouch, as we already saw Middleman have an opportunity driving some runs. C.J. Wick, but, this is probably one of the tougher middle of the lineups that the Power have seen here early on in the summer. And, for the second time tonight, Trevor's going to have to dance his way out of trouble to keep the Power in the lead.
Now, you played the game. You called the shots behind the plate. And Eby already, he's hit 2 batters. Gets a ball in there for strike 1. And seems like at times the zone's kind of fading from him. How would you, in this situation early on, to try and prevent it from spiraling out of control, how would you handle him?
Well, you see at this point, Steven, it's all about having an opportunity to find a new point that he's trying to hit. So if he keeps missing to his glove side, you got to set up your glove, maybe a little more on the inner half. Give him something to focus on when it comes to his eyes finding a target. That's usually where you start with, but the problem right now is he's going both sides of the plate. So Derek Houston right now is going to have to work extremely hard to get him back in, whether that be a changing of pitch calls. You got to change something up because whatever's happening right now isn't where Trevor's most comfortable.
1-1 pitch high for ball 2. And I know that it's sometimes limited on how many times you could go visit the pitcher. Would you go do that right now, or are you kind of waiting, trying to set him up to possibly find the zone himself first?
In a regular game when you're talking about university or NCAA.
That one's driven out to deep center field. Torik's going back on it. He'll camp under it. But over to third base. Victory will have runners on first and third. After, again, my apologies, we don't have the name on it, but number 49 will tag up on that one.
But to get back to the original point there, Steven, is that I would have taken a mound visit since this is summer ball. There is no limit on how many times you can go out there. So if you have a guy that has walked the leadoff guy and hit the next one, what the heck, might as well, because that's where you can have a conversation. And Casey Dill's not going to come out there and talk about mechanics. He's up there to figure it out for himself. So the one guy that can control it is Derek Houston, but it all works out the same as he's able to get that out.
First pitch, and that one's grounded off of Amavisca's glove. 1 run will come in to score. And no play by Monji right there. It'll be runners on first and second as Lance Middleman gets what should be scored as an error right there.
Yeah, it's a tough play, and I think right here is an example of Isaiah trying to turn the double play before it gets into his glove. He turned his head just the split second before, and Steven, that's all it takes to have just that depth perception off just by an inch or so, and I think that's what happened right there to Isaiah. So now Trevor is going to have to dance out of a little more trouble as he misses inside here for ball 1.
C.J. Wick, the first baseman, in there for the victory, and Amavisca, who's done a solid job so far this season, but over at the hot corner, hot ground ball coming in at him. Took a weird hop, and thankfully Monji in there to back him up on it. 1-0 pitch fouled back off the net. Now back to the sort of redialing a pitcher conversation, EJ. I've seen some guys at different levels. When a guy's got that kind of stuff that moves all over the place, they'll set up right down the middle, and you know it's not going to go down the middle. You know it'll go left, right, up, down, Would you do that? Or back pick from Houston gets by Haller at first base. Both runners will advance as Noah Blythe throws it back in.
Well, we'll get back to that point here in just a second, Stephen, but this is extremely uncharacteristic right now for the Power. We talked about it, one error coming in tonight. That's already 3 on 3 different players in the early going. So for Casey Dill right now, there's got to be a conversation brewing at some point to honing this in with a 22-game win streak on the line. This is not the same Power defense that we've seen here early in the summer.
CJ Wick up at the plate, Middleman at second. And that ball gets by Houston. That's going to score. Tommy Mendoza from third. Middleman will move over to third, replace him there. And Trevor Eby has tied it up here in the third inning. It's 4-4.
Yeah, obviously, if you're Derek Hughes, you would love to come down and block that pitch. But this is a pitch of Eby's that is more of a slider, and it finds its way into the left-handed batter's box. So it would have been a tough block there for Houston, and Eby's got to have some time to minimize here if the Power want to keep the lead going into the bottom of the third.
Eby finds the zone. Full count here, 1 out. Top of the third inning here in Palm Springs. Again, Power tied here with Trevor Eby, who sends that to C.J. Wick, who drives that out to center field. That's going to score another run as Torek throws it in. Has no chance of getting Lance Middleman from third in that deep outfield right there.
So a good night so far for C.J. Wick. He's 1 for 1 with a couple of RBIs.
C.J. Wick drives in the 5th runner of the game for the victory. And Tommy Ruther, the shortstop, will come in, hoping to extend this inning. He gets that one off the end of the bat. Going out for it is Amavisca. It comes off his glove. Kirkland picks it up, fires it down to second. That one gets past Dalton Thomas. And in there, Austin Haller backing it up. Prevents a run from going over to third, possibly scoring, as that would have kicked off the fence, possibly off the bullpen. Power in a bit of trouble here.
We can just go back to it. We can allude to it all day. What this game's about, Stephen, is pitching and defense. Right now from Trevor Eby, what you're seeing is when he gets into these bad counts, it's tough for him to come back from it, because then if you're Santa Clarita, you can sit dead red over something around the middle of the plate, or else Eby's going to walk you. So they have a good offensive approach right now, and they're making Trevor work a little bit harder than he had to in his last start.
That one back to Eby, just past his glove, picked up by Manji, down to first, gets him. Power get out of the inning, but not before they give up 3 runs. Again, down 5-4. We're going to the bottom of the third. Top of the lineup for the Power, or I'm sorry, 2 through 5 due up. We'll be right back. Welcome back here in Palm Springs. Power down 5-4. Noah Blythe up for the Power. Takes ball one outside.
You know, the stat that pops out to you, Steven, if you're talking about that last inning, 2 runs come in for the victory off 1 hit but 2 errors. And it's going to be the story of the night if the Power look to trail for a good part of this game or if they potentially have a chance at losing it. So far, 3 errors in 3 defensive innings, not usually a recipe for success.
And what's on the line for the Power? They're trying to repeat what was their most successful season last year. They went 31-1. They won the inaugural CPCL championship as that 1-1 pitch is down for a ball 2-1. And it's overall the most successful year the Power have seen in their 20-year history. Now it's only the 3rd inning, but they're possibly looking at what could be their first loss of the year, which would tie last year. And it would also end their 22-game win streak that they're riding right now.
And I'm sure that's not in the minds of any of the players yet, but definitely playing from behind is not a situation that they've been playing in since they've arrived here in Palm Springs, and that's a good way to get the equalizer there as Noah Blythe draws the walk.
Blythe takes his first walk of the year after he grounded into a fielder's choice, but scored in the 1st inning. Mark Kirkland up for the Power. He had a single in the 1st, 2 RBIs there, scoring, again, Blythe and Manji. Kirkland has come up big in so many moments for the Power already. Takes ball 1 inside.
Steven, I think this is a situation where if you're Kirkland, you might be able to sit on sort of an off-speed pitch here, going left on left, probably not going to get the fastball.
Takes a off-speed right inside or right on the corner for a strike. 1-1 count. Again, Kirkland's shown plate discipline. He's shown power to all fields. He's been solid as a fielder. And that plate discipline, I thought that was well outside, but that's called for a strike right there.
And now Kirkland has to find a way to shorten up as that ball was at least 6 to 8 inches off the plate according to our TrackMan technology up here.
Martinez throws down to first. Blythe's going nowhere. But again, the plate discipline from Kirkland, it's been a key to his game already. He has 5 walks. That leads the team. Most of the walks come between Kirkland and Eli Brown. Kirkland's got 5, Brown's got 4. No one else has more than 2. And he takes that one upstairs. It's a 2-2 count. Again, Eli Brown not in the lineup today. He is day-to-day right now. 2-2 pitch. Inside again, ball 3. Full count.
This could be a situation, too, where we might see Noah Blythe take off and create some action on the base paths, try to get something going here with Kirkland already having a command of the strike zone.
We're only in game 4, but they've been willing to do that. As Kirkland takes that ball well outside for ball 4, he's going to go down to first. Noah Blythe to second. And coming up, Aiden Torek. He's got the only home run of the year for the Power.
And Torek had a good season, too, at St. Mary's College of Gales. They batted .267, and as you just said it, he has just as much pop as anybody on this ball club. And what's important here for Aiden is to not try to get too big. You're playing with house money here. You have a runner in scoring position, you have no outs, and you have a pitcher who has not found the zone. You can afford to be extra greedy here if you're Torek to try to get your team back equal on the scoreboard. As we have some action now in the Santa Clarita bullpen.
Justin Rankin down there in the bullpen meeting on the mound with Jorge Martinez. He's going to stay in the game for right now, possibly buying some time for Rankin. But again, for now, it's Martinez with 2 runners on, no outs for the Power. And Mark Kirkland, or Aiden Torek up, who, again, not for being not the biggest guy, has absolutely hammered the ball through the first 3 games and Now 3 innings here.
Yeah, he uses every bit of that 5'11", 175-pound frame, and that's all about torque that he creates with his swing.
Talented hitter, St. Mary's product.
And did we just make a torque comparison right there? The first one of the night.
Ooh, there we go. That's what you get here on the Power Broadcasting Network. First pitch to Aiden Torque. He'll watch that one for a ball upstairs.
That's a quality take there for Aiden. And in a situation like this where you want to get a pitch up, your eyes can get big on that high fastball. And it was a good job by Aiden letting that go and living to play for another pitch that he can drive.
Torque takes the off speed for ball 1. Again, he's got 2 on. And he's done damage when he's had his chance this year. 1-0 pitch, he'll swing right through that. He's got 2 RBIs already. Again, he's got that home run. He's scored 4 runs on the year. And again, he's played great defense out there in center field, ranging all over the outfield. Swings right through another off speed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We've alluded to the 2-strike approach here, Stephen, throughout the game, and this is an important spot here. You already see him choking up a little bit on the bat. He's going to try to just have that bat control and try to get a bat on the ball and have at least a productive out.
Again, it's a power team that hits the ball with power, with authority to all fields as Martinez checks on Noah Blythe down there at second.
Are you saying that the Power have power?
They do. A lot of extra base hits out of this team. A couple triples already. Ton of doubles, but again, it's that massive outfield. Pitch to Torque, lined into center field. Eli Brown's coming in. Throw from left or right is not in time to get him cut off. Tried to get Torque down at second. Chazen did a solid job getting at that ball. Torque with a hustle double right there. And Mark Kirkland will go all the way down to third.
I love this again. You get the runners in motion there from Casey Dill, but not only that, Aiden Torque cuts down his swing a ton. He just shortens up and inside outs a ball that he knows he can pull, but he insides outs it as it gets in on his hands and just flicks it into right field. And that's a huge team at bat, and it's a team approach from a guy that has as much pop as anybody on the team, and the Power all equal here at 5.
And just like that, Power tie it up again. And what a time it could be for Dalton Thomas to get his first hit of the year. Thomas takes that way inside. Ball 1. Again, still looking for his first hit of the year, but he's had a couple great at-bats yesterday. Worked a walk, got on an error, and he had a couple RBIs yesterday. Thomas with the 1-0 pitch drives that one into center field. But Piper's going to sit right under that. He'll throw down to third. That's way wide. Torque's going to go to third. Kirkland will score. Power up 6-5 in a blink.
And see, this is the at-bats that Dalton Thomas has to build on. You said it. He's starting to barrel balls, and I believe we talked about this off the air when it comes to Dalton Thomas. He batted .267 at 296, at St. Catharines. So it's not like this guy has never hit before. And he hasn't seen live pitching. We saw April 22nd was his last game at St. Catharines. And this is going to take a while for him to adapt. And 3 barrels in 2 nights, Dalton Thomas will take that any day, along with that RBI.
Martinez first pitch to Richie Amavisca, catches the corner. And again, Dalton Thomas, one of a handful of guys from a handful of schools this year. St. Catharines, one of a handful to close its doors mid-season, end the season early for all those spring athletes. He hasn't played a game since mid-April, hasn't seen live pitching until last week in well over a month, and for some of them it's a bit of an adjustment period, but he still hasn't lacked on the defense. 1-1 pitch from Martinez almost hits Amavisca, gets away from Cantu, but able to hold Aiden Torque at third. 2-1 pitch, 1 out to Richie Amavisca. Had a single last inning And another one would put the Power up by 2. Breaking ball falls out of the sky, just misses the zone.
And what do you always get told growing up? When you get in a 3-1 count, has to be on a tee for you. He's sitting one spot here.
And he didn't get that one right there, but he gets first base. A walk for Richie Amavisca. First and third for Derek Houston. But it looks like there's going to be a meeting on the mound and in all likelihood a pitching change for the Power or for the Victory. It's going to be Justin Rankin coming in, it looks like. Jorge Martinez's night is done. And the Power with Derek Houston coming up. We'll have to wait. We'll be right back on the Power Broadcasting Network.
All right.
Back here for the pitching change. Justin Rankin on the mound. And for 55 years, the Old Spaghetti Factory has been family-owned and operated. Visit today and start your own family tradition with affordable meals, excellent service, and a beautiful setting at the Old Spaghetti Factory. Bottom of the Power lineup up. Derek Houston with 2 on. Runners on first and third. Jorge Martinez done for the night. His line's not closed, but as of now, 2 1/3, 4 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned, 4 walks, and he got a strikeout. But he's liable for the 2 on right now. It's Richie Amavisca and Aiden Torek. Walk to Richie Amavisca, chased him from the game. And Justin Rankin gets ahead 0-1. Fires back down to Amavisca. He's way late. Richie able to slide back in after Cantu tried to backpick him right there.
That's a heck of a stop there from C.J. Wick. The second time we've had to allude to it, but it has to get its due that he's really prevented 2 runs by not worrying about a tag and earlier not worrying about keeping his foot on the base and just worrying about keeping that ball in front of him to prevent any would-be scorers.
Derek Houston watches the 1-1 pitch. Almost gets away from Cantu. 2-1 against Derek Houston. Again, looking for his first hit of the year. But he's done a solid job behind the plate. Swings through the 2-1 pitch. 2-2, 2 on for the Power. I'm sorry, that was strike 3. The scoreboard Looks like he missed a strike right there. So Nick Eli will come in. Eli with 2 outs, 2 on. He'll watch strike 1. Eli again going to Newman University, recently announced that commitment. Down 0-1 against Rankin, who fires back to first. Amaviska able to dive in there safely again.
I like that check in there from Rankin. Amaviska in this situation, probably a good time to run. You have an opportunity to flip the lineup if Eli's able to do something, and might as well try to get another runner in scoring position while you're at it.
Eli down 0-2, but trying to extend the inning, trying to send it back to the top of the power lineup. Give Trevor Eby some help here. Eby again, he's given up 5 runs in 3 innings, and it's looking like he's going back out there for the 4th. Rankin fires back to first for the 3rd time. But once again, Amaviska in there safe. Oh, 2 pitch, 2 outs, 2 on. Curveball way upstairs.
Be nice right here for Eli to do what we've seen a couple of times for the Power. Not only 2 outs, but 2 strikes. We've seen 2 two-strike hits, and that's one of those stats that's not exactly in the box score at the end of the night, Steven, but one of those categories where if you win that on any particular night, it usually means that you won the ball game.
And the Power have been able to do that so far. They've made it trouble for teams getting off the field, as Rankin's going to check on Amaviska for a 4th time. There's been a lot of situations so far this season. The Power, couple 2-out rallies, get a run here, run there. Even if they just manage to load the bases, it's been more pitches on the arms for the opponents. And again, it just wears down on them, and they've been able to do it all year. And Eli's going to swing right through that and leave 2 runners on the bases. Power go down, but they put up 2 more runs. Going to the 4th inning, Palm Springs up 6-5. We'll be right back.
There's something winning in the agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
You're good.
And we welcome you back now to Palm Springs Stadium. EJ Sanchez alongside Stephen Buxton as we get you ready for the top of the 4th here in this matchup between the Palm Springs Power and the Santa Clarita Victory. Taking over now and leading off the top of the fourth here for the victory will be Grant Price out of the Masters University. Had a backwards K back in the second as he leads off in the first inning of work, and the first time we've seen the University of Pittsburgh man Holden Phelps as he takes over Trevor Eby, who finishes his night after 3 innings. So working out of the windup is Phelps, who goes right down Broadway and has his first strike of the night at 89 miles an hour. Phelps, a guy that a lot of Power fans have been excited to see throughout this season, began his career at the University of Missouri as this ball is in on the hands and fielded there by Amavisca, who throws across the hauler. And for the first out of the inning, making quick work is Holden Phelps.
Great job by Phelps there. No nonsense there. Just get ahead of the batter, pound the zone with 2 straight fastballs, and make the fielders work. Again, it's been a bit of an adventure for the Power defensively so far, but Amavisca, who's been solid so far this season, he's gotten his work over there at third base, but routine ground ball, able to deliver the strong throw and get the runner in time for a quick out.
And getting ahead with a fastball here is Phelps. He hits it on the outer half. The count's 0-1 to Scotty Piper out of Malone College. He's 1 for 2. Single scored back in the first and a ground out in the second. This one's chopped down the first base line. It'll roll foul.
Breaking ball right there for Phelps, changing up the pace, possibly trying to set it up, pitch him backwards, slow him down to speed him up with that fastball later on in the high 80s, touches 90. But right now sitting around 87, 88.
Again, we just mentioned it, but a guy that has started his career in a conference like the SEC, you're always excited to see what are the intangibles or what are the traits that jump off and look just a little bit different than everybody else. And so we'll be excited to see that all summer long for Holden Phelps. He delivers the 1-2. High on the other outer half, evens the count at 2-2. Defense for the Power, Kirkland, Torek, and Blythe left to right in the outfield, left side of the infield. Amavisca and Manji, Thomas and Haller on the right side, and Derek Houston, as we've mentioned, behind the plate. The 2-2. Tapped down the first base line, fielded there by Phelps, and he can't get a handle on it. It's going to be an infield hit. And the second of the game for Scotty Piper.
Yeah, that's a really tough play there for Phelps. Again, you got to get down that mound. It's a little awkward, and then you got a real speedy runner there in Scotty Piper playing out in center field, and he's busting it down the line. By the time that Phelps even gets to that ball, Piper's already in front of him. At that point, you're trying to avoid hitting him to prevent the ball from getting away from you even more, and you're hurrying up to get the ball, try and even barehand it, but at that point Phelps had nothing to do but just leave it and accept the infield single.
There's a wild pitch, and Scotty Piper's going to move up 90 feet, and one of those for Derek Houston where he just has to throw his glove out there and hope for the best. Probably made it about 52 or so feet. And good on Scotty Piper. I'm sure he's not going to complain. He has 2 hits tonight. I don't think they've traveled 100 feet combined, Steven.
No, they haven't. And one of them, the first one, it's really debatable on whether it was a hit or whether it was a throwing error. But again, he's just finding ways to get on.
This one misses on the outer half at 86. The count's 2-0, and we still have not been able to get a name on the roster from the victory. So number 49 digs in. His second at bat, he walked back in the third. The 2-0 also misses away. Handled by Houston. It's now 3-0, and what I think is a really good timeout here for Derek Houston.
Yeah, it's a little uncharacteristic so far from the Power. They're missing the zone a lot, but what's been really strange to see is all these wild pitches past balls and really the errors, too. They've got 3 errors on the night, and, I mean, thanks to all of that, they're only up a run. It's 6-5 here in the 4th inning.
So a 3-out count as Holden Phelps stays in the stretch and delivers his 3-0. This one, a strike on the inner half, brings the count to 3-1. And his over-the-top delivery right there, it can be a little deceptive as a hitter. You're not able to pick it up until the very last second, especially with the frame of Phelps. Runner's going, swings through it for a foul ball, and it goes into the wrist, I believe, of Houston. They're going to give him a second, but getting a good jump off second base was Scotty Piper. He'll head back, And we'll do this again with a full count.
Yeah, right there, Phelps just going back to what he knows is going to work. 2 straight fastballs right there. Gets himself back into the count. It's a full count. Was down 3-1. But again, he's got a runner on second and has to work here, has to fire in a strike, hoping for a ground ball.
The payoff pitch is just outside, and a walk here for Phelps. So a leadoff single for Scotty Piper and a walk brings up Jared Cantu, who has scored twice today. He's 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch back in the third.
Just the second walk of the day by the power pitchers, but again, they've allowed a lot of other traffic, more hits than usual, but again, it's the 3 errors there that really strike it as unusual and quite alarming from what we've seen through the first 3 games.
So this is a little similar to what we saw from Trevor Eby back in the first, that just not finding themselves in good counts are the power pitchers, and it'll allow here Santa Clarita to sit on a couple of pitches on the outer half. 1-0 into the ankle of Jared Cantu, so a hit, a walk, and now a hit by pitch has loaded the bases for the victory here in the top of the fourth.
The Powers so far this season, they've dug themselves a few holes, but they've been able to get out of it, a ground ball here, pop up here. They've been able to get out of having runners on with either 1 run, no runs. They've been able to limit the damage really well, but right here they haven't done this. They haven't loaded the bases on free passes. They haven't given up too many infield hits, and right here Tommy Mendoza hoping to take advantage of that back-to-back free passes with bases juiced and just down 1.
Tommy Mendoza out of Providence University will look to get the victory back in front here as he has the bases loaded with no outs and his team trailing 6-5. Out of the stretch is Holden Phelps in his first inning, relieving Trevor Eby. The first pitch fouled back to the screen. He gets ahead 0-1. Fastball touching 87.
And again, the pitching hasn't been perfect. They've gotten ahead of batters for the first 3 games. They've gotten ahead of batters for most of the counts, but they've worked a lot of deep counts, and they've been able to nibble here and there and mostly avoid the walks.
Mendoza taps this back to Phelps, who comes home for 1. Houston on to first, pulls Haller off the bag, but they get the lead runner on the fielder's choice. And an all-important first out here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, that's all they needed right there. Again, you can deal with the bases loaded, but getting that out, preventing that damage. Again, it's a force play right there, so it's not like Houston has to stay in for the tag, but just being able to stay calm, deliver the strike, and get a runner charging in full speed without, again, making what we see a lot of times just a costly error in whatever level it is, and we've seen it 3 times from the Power today.
Goes high for strike 1 at 88 against Lance Middleman. Middleman 0 for 2, flew out back in the first and reached on an error against Amaviska in the third. He came around to score in that inning. That's where we sit now. The Power leads 6-5. The bases loaded here for Holden Phelps. The 0-1 lifted down the first base line. It looks like it'll reach the seats. And getting ahead 0-2 here is Phelps.
Phelps getting ahead with 2 straight fastballs. And right there, Middleman just laid on it, gets it off the end of the bat. Haller thought he could have had a chance on it, but that ball just kept tailing to the right and just hit the top of the 10 out there in right field.
The 0-2 from Phelps. Down in the dirt, a breaking ball at 76, and Phelps looking to set something up here. Steven, if you've gone fastball that have blown past them and you waste a curveball in the dirt, you got to think you're going back to the heater, right?
Yeah, I'm either going heater right here, but it's only 1 ball. You can kind of try and waste a pitch, nibble a little bit. Right there, he just pulled a heater, though. I would have considered like a changeup inside, maybe change up the movement pattern. But, again, after fastball, curveball, you don't have to just limit yourself to fastball. And, again, you're able to play around a little bit in the count, but that's a wasted pitch right there. Again, just pulled it.
Deuces wild, 2-2, 2 outs. This one's lined into left field. It's going to get down for a hit. Kirkland up with it. Only one run will come across. Everybody will move up 90 feet. And we have a tie game here on the RBI single for Lance Middleman.
Wow, the victory came to play today already. The most competitive game the Power have had this year. And again, today it's been getting used to being uncomfortable because they haven't been able to establish themselves, haven't been able to get a comfortable lead yet today. And they're going to have to fight till the end, it looks like here.
So 6-6, bases still loaded, and maybe the last guy the Power want to see up to the plate now in C.J. Wick. He has 3 RBIs, two RBIs, an RBI double back in the first, and a sac fly just an inning ago in the third. He takes strike one here from Phelps. This one way outside at 77 from Phelps. Evens the count at 1-1.
I don't hate the approach there. He got a fastball in the outside corner of the last pitch, and again, throw a curveball in there. It's just a little further outside, trying to extend the zone, try and get him to chase.
The 1-1 is lifted into center field. Coming on is Torek, and he'll settle under it for the third out of the inning. But the victory strike back, and they even this game at 6 apiece as we head you into the top of the fourth here on the Power Baseball Network.
There's something winning in the agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Hey Power Baseball fans, looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
And we welcome you back now to Palm Springs, the historic Palm Springs Stadium. EJ Sanchez alongside Stephen Buxton. And to keep up to date with everything Palm Springs Power, follow us on social media. Follow the Power on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Palm Springs Power. Or visit our website at palmspringspowerbaseball.com. As we get you ready for the bottom of the fourth, 1, 2, 3 to start off for the Power. It'll begin with Isaiah Manji, who is in this game 1-for-1. He had an RBI sac fly back in the second. And, Steven, it's all important. You have a team right now in the Santa Clarita Victory that have actually given you some friction. Now, we haven't seen that from anybody else throughout this young summer. And so what are you looking to see right here from the Power that will establish that they can both play close games and the blowouts that we've seen?
Yeah, it's nothing that they haven't done before as far as what they need to do right here. Just put up a long inning, get some runs on the board, put up a crooked number. They've been able to do that. They've been able to respond to teams putting up runs against them. But what they haven't done is been so far into a game tied or down. And so far today, the Victory have brought what they've needed as Mongi watches a breaking ball get in there for strike one. And and they've been up to the task against the Power.
They have, and as Manji waits the 0-1, he waves and sits on it, so it'll be 1-1, count even here for Manji, and we have a game that none of us expected to see here, Steven. We have a 6-6 game here on the bottom of the fourth as Manji awaits the 1-1 here from Rankin in his second inning of work. Manji fouls this off the batter's box, and he'll be down in the hole 1-2.
And the hitters, they're doing their job. They know what they need to do. It's really just the Power just need a quick inning. They need to get a 1-2-3, get the lineup back in. And right now, if they could possibly put up a long inning here and then Phelps go out, go 1-2-3, get them back up there, they could have a good lead going into the sixth.
This one's tagged to center field by Manji. On his horse is Piper, and he's going to reach up and make the grab for out number 1. And Piper had a good first step, and he's able to retire the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the fourth for the Power.
Manji doing all he can right there. Put a good swing on one. Took a hanging curveball right there and sent it probably 360, 370 feet, but with that deep outfield out there, and Piper with some good speed, good route, he was able to track it down for a quick first out for the victory.
As Haller sits in, takes ball 1 high. Haller 2 for 5 last night, and he is 0 for 1 tonight. He was hit by a pitch back in the first and flew out to Piper in the second. He sends one right back up the middle for a base hit, and Austin Haller has his first hit of the night, his third in the last 2 games, and the Power have a base runner here in the fourth.
Again, that's all you really need. Just send a hit right up the middle. There's a lot of real estate right there. If the Power can just string together a few, possibly get a double here and there, they'll be in business.
We'll bring up Mr. Power. Noah Blythe, second all-time in multiple offensive categories, including batting average in the 20-year history of the Power. He steps in for his third at-bat, walked and scored back in the third, and also scored in the first off of that fielder's choice. So we're going to get a meeting here between Cantu and Rankin.
Yeah, Blythe last year, he led the team in hits, at-bats, RBIs, basically every offensive stat, and he's done nothing but get right back to that this year.
And he's also an interesting story, attending one of these schools that for one reason or another closes down, previously the University of Antelope Valley, and he's found a nice home at Hawaii Pacific where I'm sure many Power fans will be cheering him on next season.
Yeah, he played there earlier in his collegiate career, and he's going to go back to Hawaii next year.
Blythe tags this one into deep center field. Going back is Piper. He'll retreat near the warning track, and just a step in front, he'll make the catch. Haller will retreat back to first. And we've seen 2 loud outs from the Power here in the fourth.
Again, you're putting a great swing on it. You did all you can do right there. The only issue is you just hit it to the deepest part of the park. It's not too many places in summer ball or college in general where you're going to get a 395-foot line out. But Mark Kirkland did right there, just hitting it right up to the warning track, almost got there. And again, that's a loud out for the Power.
So in steps Mark Kirkland. Leads the team in walks, as we've mentioned a couple of times, but he has driven in a couple of runs on a 2 RBI single back in the first and walked and scored just last inning. He flies this one into left field. Tommy Mendoza ranges over to his right and makes the couch for the third out of the inning. So the Power go quietly in the fourth. They leave 1 on. We'll head to the top of the fifth right here on the Power Broadcasting Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta, For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
We welcome everybody back to Palm Springs as we bring you the top of the fifth right here on the Power Baseball Network. EJ Sanchez, Stephen Buxton, and Tommy Ruther is on to lead off the top of the fifth. As Holden Phelps in his second inning of work trying to be.
In all reality, though, if you look at the scoreboard for what that inning really was, being able to get out of it with just one run is a great job by Phelps.
Absolutely. He strands the bases loaded and gives his team an opportunity to get back to the bat rack just at an even game. This one's fouled back to the screen, 1-1. And right now it looks like Tommy Ruther having a little bit of a tough time trying to keep his grip on the bat. But Ruther so far tonight, 1 for 2, a strikeout in the first and a double in the third. As he awaits the 1-1 from Phelps. Low and in the dirt. Houston not able to handle it. It is a 77-mile-an-hour breaker that finds its way right behind the plate, and it's 2-1.
Again, for Phelps, though, the real story of the inning, 7 base runners came up, but he gave out a ton of free passes.
This one sliced into the alley in left center field. Calling for it is Kirkland, and he's going to be the one to make the catch as thankfully, Aiden Torek slides out of the way, and the Power have their first out of the inning.
A little scary right there. The Power, it's been an adventure on defense. Again, 3 errors tonight, a couple close calls on a couple possible collisions, another one right there, but a good job by Torek having the awareness just to do at all means, just get out of the way and prevent what could have been a big injury.
So Alex Mia steps in from the left side with 1 out here in the top of the fifth. He struck out in the second and grounded out to Isaiah Manji in the third. He fouls off the first pitch. He sits 0-1 here against Phelps. The defense playing him pretty straight up as he sits and takes a curveball at 77 for 0-2. So quickly ahead here is Phelps. The 0-2 is fouled away by Alex Mia, who hasn't decided where he'll be playing his next season of college baseball, but so what baseball is for here in the summer, to get some looks, have some people in the stands, to find out where your next home's going to be. As we'll do it again, he sits on the 0-2. Way outside, handled by Houston. 1-2 here now against Mia.
Yeah, Mia, one of what's essentially a grocery list of players on this Victory team that went to Valencia High School. He just graduated, but again, uncommitted.
As he taps this down the first baseline foul, and Holler will find somewhere to throw this. But again, you said it. He's playing with a lot of guys that have already entered their first or second years of college, some even their third, and that can only be helpful for a kid that's looking to embark on a college career. The 1-2. Low in the dirt again, and already for a young player, he has good command of the strike zone here. Being down 0-2, he's worked it even.
And again, for being so young, coming out straight out of high school, it has to help that, again, half of this team is from his same high school. A lot of the guys have gone to the same community college, and a lot of the guys from his high school have either gone to one of a handful of community colleges, whether it's one's out in L.A., one's out in Santa Clarita. So there's a lot of familiarity there, and it must be pretty comfortable coming into his first year of summer ball right here.
And Holden Phelps isn't the biggest fan of Alex Mia now. He's probably wasting half of his allotted pitch count for tonight as he fouls off another one into the parking lot right behind us. And one of those aforementioned colleges you're talking about is College of the Canyons, who made it to the 3C 2A SoCal Regionals this season. As Mia taps this over to first, Holler is up with it. He'll take it himself for this second out, and Mia is retired.
Yeah, it's College of the Canyons, LA Mission. Those two pop up a lot on this roster right now. And, I mean, he could go to one of those two. He could go find himself a four-year. But right now with Grant Price coming up, Holden Phelps hoping for a quick inning.
And we'll actually have a pinch hitter here as Jacob Mallett will have his first at-bat of the game, and another one of those College of the Canyons players will have his first as he takes his first pitch. So Coach Smitty, as he's affectionately called, Coach Greg Smith, deploying his first of many as this ball is lifted into left field. Kirkland has a beat on it, settles under near the line and left, and he'll make the couch for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down, and a clean inning for Holden Phelps as we take you into the bottom of the 5th here on the Power Baseball Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Of outdoor living spaces in the desert, nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Aiden Torek to lead off the bottom of the 5th here for the Power as they look to go ahead here of the Santa Clarita victory. EJ Sanchez alongside Stephen Buxton, bringing you Palm Springs Power Baseball for another season here in the Valley. Justin Rankin in his 3rd inning of work out of the windup will deliver to Torek as he misses high for ball 1. Torek a strikeout back in the 1st and a single. He advanced on the throw and was stranded at 3rd. Torek, 231 coming into tonight for the Power. As he takes 2 pitches early, he's taking a fastball and a breaking ball, and he's ahead 2-0.
Rankin, another LA Missions guy. Looks like he's going to College of the Canyons coming up, but he's out of Santa Clarita. Had 10 starts, 14 and 2/3 innings pitched, but he got touched up a lot.
Torek lines this one to left field. Going back is Mendoza. And this one is gone into the Palm Springs night. Aiden Torek has left the yard, and the Power take the lead on his 2nd home run of the season.
We've been talking about it all night, but Aiden Torek just with a violent, powerful swing there, and immediately first batter up, Power go up. Torek's 2nd home run of the year, and it was not a cheap one.
Not at all. Right over the De Los Reyes sign in left field. At least 365, 370 feet. And we'll get the official numbers later. But what a shot from Aiden Torek. And the Power go back ahead. Brings up Dalton Thomas. His first at-bat here against Rankin. And Rankin misses low for ball 1. Thomas grounded out to third back in the first and had an RBI sac fly in the third. Officially 0 for 1. Still looking for that hit. But he's taking good at-bats, as we said, over the last 24 hours, and no doubt going to be a huge part. In fact, we talked to Sean Collins, who is the equipment manager for the Power, and he said that Dalton Thomas has assumed one of the leadership positions on this team for 2024.
Again, call it the announcer's jinx, call it what you want, but right as I'm talking about Rankin getting touched up a little bit in his time at LA Mission, 6.75 ERA, 3 wild pitches, 11 earned runs, and again, just 14 2/3 innings. He's allowed 18 hits, and he just allowed another one, and that one could have gone longer than just about every other one he's let up.
And Rankin, a little more exaggerated in his movements now as he gets the ball back after throwing the first strike of the at-bat. It's 3-1 against Thomas. Working out of the stretch. The 3-1 is high, and Dalton Thomas will reach and bring up Richie Amavisca. So the first two batters reach, or I guess Torek reached and then went back to the dugout on his way after the home run. But the Power in business here in the bottom of the fifth.
So the good thing you're seeing with Dalton Thomas right there, again, he doesn't have his first hit yet in the season, but he's put up a ton of good at-bats. Thomas right there works another walk. It's really a question of when you're seeing live pitching for the first time in a while, it's being able to catch up to it, being able to get a good swing on it, get the timing right. But the good sign is seeing that the eye for the zone is still there, and he has been able to put some good swings on it, but really he's just had some bad breaks, hit him right where at the fielders. But again, right there, works another walk and sets up Amavisca with a runner on.
And Amavisca takes strike one, a curveball from Rankin. And this one's tapped into the 6 hole, and it'll get through for a base hit. Richie Amavisca has his second hit of the night. Holding up at second is Dalton Thomas, and the first 3 have reached here in the 5th for the Power.
Well, Aiden Torek right there sends one over the fence, probably hits it close to 400 feet, probably well over 100 off the bat, but right here showing the other side of the Powers game. Richie's hit right there couldn't be much more than 40 off the bat. Didn't get more than 6 feet before it was right into the ground, but still good enough to, again, set up Derek Houston. He's looking for his first hit here, and he could really help out his battery mate, Holden Phelps, with a couple RBIs.
Bottom of the 5th here in Palm Springs. First and second, Derek Houston up with no outs as the Power leads 7-6. Out of the stretch is Rankin. Squaring around to bunts is Derek Houston. And, I was just going to mention that, Steven. This is a perfect time for one. But, again, the calendar has flipped to June. These guys aren't playing in super regionals right now. You would think that would be the last thing on the mind of everybody. But Casey Dill and Derek Houston looking for a team at bat here. He takes it high for ball 1. Squares around again. Taken right down the middle for strike 1.
Cantu up quick, ready to try and throw back to first base, but CJ Wick not ready. He was charging in for the bunt. And Mia trying to go cover first base wasn't there in time, so Cantu just had to hold on to it.
See if they keep it on here. Ruther wanted to pick off, squaring around again is Houston. He takes it for another ball. It's 2-1. And, Steven, this is a situation here where I doubt this has been worked on in any sort of practice. We've only had 2 off days. The team's only really been together for a week, especially this group, for a potential slash here.
Yeah, you could try. Again, it's just a really tough play to pull off with, again, for a guy who's trying to find his timing here. He's still looking for his first hit, but it's a good move.
And he does. He puts it down the third base line, and we have a bunt single for a catcher here in Palm Springs. Derek Houston gets on the board with his first one. He never took the bat off his shoulder. He puts it down the line, and the Power have the bases loaded with the top of the order doing up after Nick Eli takes his at-bat here out of the 9th spot.
And again, it's a good move right there. Dalton Thomas, he's just got to be on his horse getting to third, because the possibility there is for Radkin to get off the mound and possibly, if he hits it too close to that mound, Thomas is out at third. There's no shot because of that throw so close, so easy. And if you get it up in the air, it's a guaranteed double play basically, but perfect execution by Houston with a lot of that room getting it closer to the foul line, and bases loaded for Nick Eli here.
Here we go for Nick Eli. He punches this one to center field. Settling under it is Piper. He has it. Runners will tag, or one will tag, and it'll be the the second run of the inning, and coming in to score is Dalton Thomas. So an RBI sac fly for Nick Eli, the top of the order coming up with 2 runners still on base for the Power, and it'll bring up Isaiah Manji.
Yeah, again, Thomas, he even came up to us after the game yesterday, and he said, like...
Semi-apologized.
Yeah, he was starting to apologize, like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm not giving you a ton to talk about right now. And I told him, I mean, he's working good at bats. He's playing well in the field, and right here, he still doesn't have that hit, but he's been on. He's got an RBI. He just scored another run. And he's doing what the team needs him to do to get wins and put runs on the board. As long as the fielding holds up, the bat will get there soon.
Manji, 1 for 2 tonight. He had an RBI sac fly back in the second. Single back in the first. Opportunity to do some more damage. He's behind 0-1. Delivery from Rankin. This one's punched into left field. Going back is Mendoza. Still going back is Mendoza. And it goes off the wall. One runner will come in. Coming in to score will be Amavisca. Getting to the green light is Derek Houston. There will be no throw. It's an RBI double for Isaiah Manji. And the Power have put up 4 here in the 5th.
Yeah, Manji absolutely tattoos a ball right there. And from my angle, the foul poles, or the pole holding up the netting, kind of blocked the play a little bit. I couldn't completely tell if that ball came off the top of the wall, but he hammered it and it stayed in the park. But thankfully for the Power, got a good enough kick that Mendoza had to run back a little bit. And in that time, I mean, you've got everyone dead sprint around the bases, and he was able to get a bases clearing double right there. Power in business, and looks like there could be a pitching change.
A little bit of a longer visit, but what a 5th inning for the Power. They lead it 10-6 here in the 5th. Aiden Torek led off with a home run. Thomas and Amavisca went back-to-back with a walk and a single. You had a bunt single from Derek Houston. You had an RBI sac fly from Nick Eli, and then the big blast, the 2-run double for Isaiah Manji. It brings up Austin Haller. Haller 1 for 2, hit by a pitch in the first, flew out to center in the second, and singled back in the 4th.
And again, this Power team, they've got enough power, they've got enough pop to hit it to all fields to get a few over, but what they really need to do is what they've done in this inning, work the entire field, line drive from foul pole to foul pole, and they've been really working the gaps, because if you look in front of you right now, the gaps are massive. If you get it into center field, as long as it's not right at Piper, who's been, I mean, it's been no fly zone over there, but as long as it's not right at him, it's almost a guaranteed double.
The 1-0 is driven into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Getting a green light is Isaiah Manji. He'll score easily. Austin Haller has his second hit, his first RBI, and the Power go ahead 11-6. It's a good piece of hitting right here, Steven. What he does, he's able to take an off-speed pitch. Again, his body goes a little, but he keeps his hands back. He flicks them out, has a little opposite field base hit, and Austin Haller continues his hitting ways.
Yeah, he takes a breaking ball out off the end of the bat, but he's on time enough and able to just stick it out there, get it over Ruther's head, and if that had a little more on it, again, it's in the gap. It has a chance at being a double, but it's still a solid job there, doing his job, getting Manji home.
Brings up Noah Blythe. Blythe 0 for 2 tonight, but he scored twice. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the first, came around to score, and reached in the third on a walk. Looking for his first hit, Mr. Power trying to get in on the action here in the 5th. He takes ball. Is 2-0 here against Noah. trying to join the party after an offensive explosion that's happened here in the 5th.
And I bet Blythe is sitting fastball right now. 2 straight breaking balls missed. And there's one right there.
And Rankin doesn't give in. A quick 3-0, and the Power, should Kirkland get up to bat here, barring a double play, will have batted around here in the 5th.
Again, 3 straight breakers, 3 straight balls. I mean, Noah Blythe's got to be looking for a keyhole right now.
And this one's out on the edge for a strike, and that wasn't in the keyhole, I'm assuming, for Noah Blythe. I doubt low and away is what he wanted in that situation.
That's a great pitch right there on our track, man. It barely nicks the zone, just that bottom corner.
And he goes right back to it there, back-to-back fastballs at 80 and 79 miles an hour, and he's evened it up here. We'll go full. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, the Power have put up 5. Leading off of first is Austin Haller. The 3-2 to Blythe. Called strike 3. And Noah's not happy about it, but he'll trot back to the dugout for the second out of the inning, and it'll bring up Mark Kirkland.
He shouldn't be happy, too, because those last 2 pitches, it's 2 fastballs. One just at the edge of the zone. The other, Cantu's working it just a little bit, about half a ball past that first one. Good frame job there, gets him the strike. But that third one, that's a good 6-7 inches off the plate. That's just a tough call there, take down Blythe.
Kirkland takes ball 1 high. 11-6 Power. As Rankin looks to try to escape a nightmare of a 5th inning after he shut down the Power back in the 4th. This one goes high. It'll reach the screen, and advancing on the wild pitch will be Haller as he advances 90 feet, so a duck on the pond right now here for Kirkland. Pace starting to slow down, and that's exactly where the Power want it. They've been able to tack on runs nearly every inning. The only time they haven't scored was back in the 4th. And with this pace, they're able to just key in on some of the pitches here for Santa Clarita. Kirkland awaits the 2-0. Has to move out of the way. It's 3-0, and would not be surprised if the green light's on here for Kirkland.
Yeah, and right here is where the Power get comfortable. You get past that initial shock of, wow, we're through 3-4 innings, and we're down. We're still battling to this team. They put up 5 now, and they can almost go into cruise control.
And I think Mark was trying to put that one into Santa Clarita as he took as good of a hack as you can take. But guess what? On 3-0, that's what you want to have happen for a swing if you're Mark Kirkland. I'm sure if you're Casey Dill as well.
It's a fastball up and in, almost in on his hands, but still catches the zone. And
it gets away. Haller will move up 90 feet. Kirkland will take a trot down to first base. And it'll bring up Aiden Torek, who led off this inning with his 2nd home run of the season and deposited a home run over the left field wall. So we'll see if Greg Smith will allow Rankin to face Torek for the 2nd time. So Torek steps in with runners on 1st and 3rd, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. There goes Kirkland. No throw, and Kirkland has another stolen base, his 2nd of the season. So now 2 ducks on the pond here, 2 out stakes, opportunity for Torek. He is 2 for 3, struck out back in the 1st, a single in the 3rd, and of course the home run a few minutes ago and led off this bottom of the 5th. Torek 1-0, swung on and missed, 1-1. 69 mile an hour, I would say, slider from how it looks here, and Torek still staying aggressive.
EJ, with all the stolen bases, wild pitches, errors, I mean, my scorebook's starting to look like a mess right now.
Exactly. Great things happening when they bat around, but not great for the official scores up here as Torek takes the ball, makes it 2-1. The dreaded bat around.
You know, we're going to throw this into the 6th inning and figure it out if they bat around again then.
The 2-1 from Rankin. Torek Floats this one into left field. It's going to get down. One runner will come in. Kirkland gets the green light from Casey Dill. The throw home, not in time. 2 RBI single for Aiden Torek. 3 RBIs in the inning, and the Power have blown it open here in the 5th.
Aiden Torek right there reaches out for it. A fastball way low and outside, but he's still able to go out for it, get his bat on it, and looks like he might have just chased Rankin for the night. But again, just a quality at-bat there, taking a couple pitches and working the count, going out for it, and just getting a little bloop single in there, but that's all you really need. It scored 2 runs.
So a new pitcher will be on when we return here in the bottom of the 5th. The Power lead the victory 13-6, and we'll have the bio on the new pitcher when we return here on the Power Baseball Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Of outdoor living spaces in the desert, nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Micromania returns to Palm Springs Stadium on Saturday, June 8th, after Power Baseball. Professional wrestlers jump into the ring in a night of fun for all ages. Micromania presented by the Dragon's Den and Summer Baseball, all for the price of admission. Purchase your tickets at the stadium box office on game night on June 8th.
Francisco Agredano will relieve Rankin. Another LA Mission guy, as we were alluding to earlier. His CCCBA profile pulled up here, and the victory, they rolled tight. A lot of guys from the same area, and we'll see if Agredano can get the victory out of this prolonged 5th inning as Dalton Thomas takes strike 1.
Yeah, Power already batting around in this inning. Thomas had a walk, scored earlier, and he's trying to turn 7, possibly to 8, even more.
As he ducks out of the way, and the count even at 1-1. Thomas grounded out to Price at third back in the 1st. He had an RBI sac fly in the 3rd. He came around after he walked just a few minutes ago here in the 5th. His second at-bat here of the 5th inning. The 11th Power player to come to the plate as a good block here by Cantu. Out of the hand of Agredano, the count 2-1.
Again, back to our conversation on Thomas and the at-bats he's been putting up this season. It's a good sign to see the eye and to see, like, he's not really hesitant on a lot of these, like, the non-competitive pitches. If you were really concerned about a guy.
As Torek moves up 90 feet on the wild pitch by Agredano. So a little more giddy up on the fastball for Agredano, but he hasn't been able to control it yet. And another runner in scoring position for the Power.
But a lot of guys who are really lost at the plate, not just their timing, but they're just not seeing it. You'll see they'll almost hesitate on some of those non-competitive pitches like Thomas has seen at this at-bat. But right here, Thomas, the bat's not even coming off his shoulders, and it shouldn't. None of these pitches have been competitive.
Thomas awaits the 3-1 from Agredano. He takes it inside, and he'll reach on the walk, and that'll bring up Richie Amavisca. So the 12th Power player to reach here in the 5th inning And an opportunity here for Amaviska. He has scored twice. He has 2 hits in the game. 7 runs have come across here in the 5th for the Power. Agredano trying to get the victory out of this 5th inning. Amaviska, the New Mexico Highlands kid, awaits the first pitch of his at-bat. He takes a cut. He's behind 0-1. An 82-mile-an-hour fastball out of the hand of Agredano.
Yeah, that's a good pitch by Agredano. Low and away, still in the strike zone. So even if Amaviska didn't swing there, it was still going to get called. But, again, Amaviska doing all he can to get a bat on it.
And this one will reach the parking lot behind us again. It's 0-2. So Agredano gets ahead of his 3rd batter. 13 runs on 11 hits for the Power. Same defense alignment in there as Mendoza, Piper, and number 49 across the outfield, and Price, Ruther, Mia, and Wick along the infield. The 0-2. Off the hands of Amaviska. Slow roller, charging his Price. Throws on the run. He got him in time, and the inning comes to a close. But 7 runs come across in the 5th inning for the Power as we take you into the top of the 6th here on the Power Baseball Network.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. They cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
Ready to bring you here the top of the 6th for the Power as they're taking on the Santa Clarita Coyotes. EJ Sanchez joined in the booth tonight by Stephen Buxton. And Stephen, a close game all the way throughout. It's a 6-6 game going into the 5th inning, and the Power explode for 7 runs.
Yeah, Power just, again, they did what they've done all year outside of trailing for most of this game. They now get into a groove. They're getting comfortable and put up a big number, 7 runs. And the highlight of the inning, Aiden Torrek's bomb of a home run out to left field.
And Johnny Young will get on the rubber for the 2nd time this season. The Texas A&M Texarkana kid from around here, also another College of the Desert guy. He evens the count here at 1-1 to Scotty Piper. Piper, 2 for 3 on the night, scored on an infield single and an error on Trevor Eby back in the 1st. He grounded out to Manji in the 2nd, and he lines this one into the visiting dugout. And look out, victory players. The count goes 1-2.
Yeah,
and eventually singled in the 4th. Sorry, go ahead.
Johnny grew up in Reading. He tops out at around 78 with that fastball. Grew up a Giants fan, watched a lot of Tim Lincecum, Matt Cain, Madison Bumgarner. But the favorite out of all of them, big Randy Johnson guy.
Really? All right. How long is that conversation between you and Johnny in the bullpen?
It wasn't in the bullpen. It was in left field yesterday during BP.
The 3-1 from Johnny, and he's going to go ahead and hit Scotty Piper, and Piper will be on for the third time tonight.
But it was no shorter than 25 minutes.
We have a pinch hitter coming up, and it's in the form of Pablo Rodriguez, who I guarantee you is smarter than the rest of us. The Yale kid will have his first at-bat of the night.
Yeah, Pablo Rodriguez, Yale kid. Didn't get any time this year at Yale, but no stats, but he was the Canyon High School. He went to Canyon High School, graduated in 2023, CIF Southern Section Student Athlete of the Year. And your bet is as good as mine, but I'm willing to bet the environmental engineering major. He's got a higher GPA, I can guarantee you, than an ASU guy myself.
There goes Piper. Hit and runs on. Young is going to grab it himself, take a couple of steps, jog over to Holler, and flip it to him for the first out of the inning. But Piper in scoring position here for the victory. I'll bring up Jared Cantu. He's also scored twice. He is 1 for 1. Not only has he scored twice, he's been hit twice. Scored back in the first and the third, stranded at third in the fourth. But he's been a part of this victory offense that has scored almost as many runs as any team has here in the early summer. But he'll have an opportunity here with a runner in scoring position.
That last pitch, a great job by Young, though. Takes a little bit off the fastball, just 71 right there, but gets it off the end of the bat. And, again, able to get off the mound well, field the position, deliver a strike to first base. Quick out.
Out of the stretch goes Johnny Young. This one's tapped to the right side, fielded by Holler, and actually gets away from him, slipping is Thomas. And the runner will reach as Cantu will be on for his fourth time tonight. And the runners will be on the corners. That'll go down as an error for Austin Holler.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an adventure again tonight for the Power fielding. Their fourth error on the night, but that one right there, a good job by Dalton Thomas being able to make an awkward stop and dive backwards to save that ball from getting in the outfield and basically saving a run.
Up comes Tommy Mendoza, who takes ball one high and in. He's 0 for 2. Hit by a pitch back in the first, flew out to center back in the third, and reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Still a lot of time here for Santa Clarita, but they got to get at least a couple of runs here as Young checks on the runner Cantu. Such a beautiful night at the ballpark here in Palm Springs as we began the day at about 101, but we've taken it down a little bit. Starting to feel a lot better, especially with the Misters here at Palm Springs Stadium. He pulls this one outside.
It's a brisk 89.
Is it winter time here in Palm Springs?
No, that'll get down to about 88.
But the place to be all summer long in Palm Springs, right here at Palm Springs Stadium. 2-0 from Young, working out of the stretch. The delivery. Swing and a miss from Mendoza. Count goes to 2-1. That's a good pitch for Mendoza to hack it. He had it right in his wheelhouse, just missed it from Mendoza. Or, excuse me, from Young. This one's flown out to center field. Torek settling under, and he'll cut his losses and allow the sac fly. So the victory, get one back on the RBI sac fly from Tommy Mendoza, his second sac fly of the game, and the score is 13-7.
It's a great job by Johnny Young right there, though. That pitch is almost perfect. In on the hands up, just catches the zone enough to, again, if he didn't swing at it, it was going to get called for a strike. But right there, Tommy Mendoza able to catch up to enough of it. It was 76 up and just fight it off into center field, and really there for Torek. Nothing he can do other than just catch it and throw it down to second to prevent the runner from advancing.
And the first we've seen of Connor Koffner, another College of the Canyons kid. He gets the call here from Coach Smith, and he relieves Lance Middleman. He takes ball one. He swings through strike one. And he might have gotten a piece of it. No reaction from Houston. Count even at 1-1. It's Jay Cisnelli, our PA guy tonight, makes a little correction, and Koffner just snuck in there. Usually you see a little more of a checking in number for number, but Koffner just got right in there.
Yeah. Koffner, again, another one of the College of the Canyons guys as he swings right through that. He played 2024 at L.A. Mission. He's going to go to College of the Canyons, but not in the typical path you see. He took a year off after graduating high school in 2022, and he absolutely hammered the ball in high school, hitting over 400.
1-2 is in, but taking the free bag at second is Jared Cantu. He'll get the stolen base, as it looked like Young wasn't paying too much attention to him, so he'll take it. And presumably the first stolen base of the season for Jared Cantu.
And I'm sorry, those stats aren't from his high school. That's from his time at L.A. Mission, where
as this ball's lined into center field, Torek has a beat on it. He'll make the running couch to retire the side. So a run comes in on no hits. It was a walk, but the Power lead 13-7. We'll take you to the bottom of the sixth here in Palm Springs on the Power Baseball Network.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Six.
And we welcome you back here to Palm Springs. DJ Sanchez alongside Stephen Buxton for the bottom of the sixth here in Palm Springs. Leading it off in the bottom of the sixth will be the backstop, Derek Houston, who is coming off something that I'm not sure he's done all too much in his career as he cues this one back to Arredondo. He goes over to first for the first out of the inning. But Derek Houston had a gorgeous bunt for a hit back in that fifth inning that saw the Power score 7 runs.
Yeah, so you don't see a ton of teams pull off a slash.
You don't. Not at all. But it'll bring up Nick Eli, who had an RBI sac fly in that fifth inning. He also scored back in the second. So everybody's gotten a piece of it tonight here for the Power. Arredondo, his first clean inning by himself. As the Power just trying to add a little extra insurance here in the bottom of the sixth.
Yeah, Eli doesn't have a hit yet tonight, but he struck out, and it was a bit of an adventure in the second. Walked, and then 2 stolen bases. One of them was a double steal, and ended up scoring there.
Eli swings at a fastball just in on the hands. He's able to deposit it into the bleachers here on the right side. He'll be down 0-1. So the Power, after going behind a couple of times and trailing for the first time in the first inning, have rattled off 13 runs on 11 hits. The 0-1. Tap to second. Up with it is Mia. On to first to Wick for the second out of the inning. So after an offensive explosion in the fifth, the Power have gone quiet with their first two batters, and back to the top of the order in Isaiah Manji.
Yeah, not a ton you could do right there for Nick Eli. Just gets a little off speed, down and in. Kind of gets jammed off of that, and again, able to put a piece on it, but not the best swing right there, so Manji will be up with 2 outs.
Manji takes a breaking ball for strike one. If you're just joining us, back in the fifth inning, Isaiah Manji was about a protein shake and a couple of curls away from leaving the yard in left field. Off the very top of the wall, a 2-run double that we thought would be the backbreaker at that time. But he swings through strike two here in 0-2. But now 3 RBIs tonight for Isaiah Manji. He has 2 hits. And he really has been the table setter at the top of the lineup tonight for the Power.
Yeah, Manji so far, he's been able to do it all. He's made great plays defensively. And, again, last inning he showed off the pop. He's already got a couple RBIs on the night. He's got 2 hits. And aside from Aiden Torek getting 3 RBIs in an inning with a home run, too, Manji would have a case for player of the game.
He's down in a hole here, 1-2. In the dirt, slides away from Cantu, but no swing. It'll even the count at 2-2. Manji 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk last night. And it's always a good thing when you're talking about if somebody could win player of the game, if not for this guy. It means a lot has happened for the Power, and that's where we found ourselves. Deuces Wild here in the bottom of the fifth with 2 outs. Manji checks his swing down to first. No swing, says Stu Gibbs, our field umpire for tonight. And the count will go full with nobody on. Out of the windup is Arredondo. Gets his sign, kicks, delivers. The 3-2 is fouled away into the parking lot on the right side, and we'll do it all again. Manji, in his season at North Carolina A&T, had a .234 average and had 16 starts. So, as we mentioned before, and we'll mention throughout the season, looking for a new home next season and a good summer here in Palm Springs will definitely help him with that. The payoff pitch. Low and a good at-bat there for Manji. He reaches on the walk, and it'll bring up Austin Haller.
It's been a lot less eventful for us during Isaiah Manji at-bats tonight because last night Manji, he kept working 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pitch at-bats, and he probably sent about 15 foul balls up to the press box. Last night, Adam and I in the booth, Adam was ready to catch a few of them. None of them came close enough, but Manji looked like he had a target on us.
Great first steps for Adam, though. Great first steps.
Okay, I was looking like an athlete.
Haller has 2 hits. Back in the fourth and the fifth, he wastes this one into the parking lot right behind us. But to get back to it, he was hit by a pitch in the first, flew out to center back in the second, and a hit in the fourth, came around to score in that fifth. But who didn't come around to score in that fifth inning? The only one, actually, to answer that question is Noah Blythe and Nick Eli. So 7 out of the 9 Power players able to score as they'll check on Manji at first. Haller, 39 starts this past season at Western Kentucky. Batted .249 in the Conference USA. 0-1. Sees the off-speed pitch at 75 on the outer half. And quickly down to the hole, 0-2 is Austin Haller.
But Eli, EJ, you're living good right now when last inning they leave 2 on the base, but they still put up 7 in an inning. The Power looked like they were on the ropes for a while, but now a comfortable lead.
This one's ripped down the line, but foul. And Haller got a good pitch to hit there, a foul ball with an exit velo of 101. So Haller still staying aggressive, still down in the hole 0-2 as Noah Blythe waits on deck. They've adjusted a little bit of the defensive positioning against them. Scotty Piper played him a lot deeper into the hole in right center, and he's evened it up to about just a couple of yards to the right of second base. 0-2. Goes through the 5-hole of Cantu. He can't find it, and it's a little too late. I don't think Isaiah Manji was looking to take off, so he'll remain at first. Count goes to 1-2. Haller came into tonight tied for second on the team with 5 hits in 3 games. And I'm sure he'll fly up that leaderboard with the 2 he has tonight. Looking for his third, down 1-2. And they'll check on Manji again. Manji only 1 stolen base this last season at North Carolina A&T. But they're awfully concerned about him over there at first. Bottom of the 6th, the Power lead the victory 13-7. 1-2 on Austin Haller. Down in the dirt, Manji takes off, and he'll get the stolen base taken away from it. It'll go down as a wild pitch, but an RBI opportunity now for Haller.
Haller right now looking to make up for an error last inning. Had that bobbled play at first that Dalton Thomas had to dive back for. Right now, he could possibly add on for the total, put the Power up 7 if he could put one into play here.
2-2. Haller down the line, diving attempt made, foul ball. C.J. Wick made a play on it down the first base line, but John Mejia threw his hands up, and we'll do it all again at 2-2. A little bit of a bigger crowd than we had last night. The announced attendance was 109 last night. Definitely in the 300-400s tonight at Palm Springs Stadium on $4 margarita night.
Good way to get people excited to come out, have a good drink, have some good food, and watch the Power hopefully win another game.
2-2. There goes Manji. Lined into left field. Coming on and making the play is Tommy Mendoza. So the Power go quietly in the 6th. No runs on 1 hit, 1 man left on, no errors. And we'll head to the top of the 7th with Stephen Buxton when we return on the Power Baseball Network.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Hey Power Baseball fans, looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Face off against Johnny Young, and Hayek drills that one out to center. Torek on his horse had to range back a little bit after a tough route to begin, but he'll get that for a 1-pitch first out.
Can't ask for much more. 1 pitch, 1 out, and now Coach Smith's starting to empty his bench. Another pinch hitter here as Aiden Voiles from Westmont will have his first crack at it and his first at-bat here against Johnny Young.
Voiles, another one of those many Valencia High School graduates facing off against Young. Takes a ball inside, 1-0.
Important here for Johnny Young to do what he's been doing and being efficient, getting the first pitch strikes, and have an opportunity to get his team back to the bat racks.
Quills off the end of the bat, just over Young, fielded by Thomas, fallen over on the throw. Had him out if it was hauled in, but Austin Haller couldn't keep a handle on it. That'll be an infield single. What a play by Dalton Thomas to even make that close.
If that play was made, it would have no doubt been the web gem of the season thus far for the Power. A barehanded play, and the fact that he was even able to give Austin Haller a shot to pick that is truly just a testament to the athletic ability of Dalton.
I mean, Dalton Thomas had to dead sprint from the edge of the outfield and almost on his back as Alex Mia gets that one down the line. But did they call that foul?
They did.
From my vantage point, that was well within the fair part. I mean, that was well fair. Bounced a couple inches inside. I thought that could have been a double right there. But Power catch a break.
It looks like they did.
This isn't Alex Mia to hit. It's number, well, looks like 34 for the victory.
Ruben Lira.
Ruben
Another
Lira.
LA Mission kid.
Going to take over. Well, looks like he'll take over at second base. Takes the 0-1 pitch for a ball. Lira, he's got Voiles on first. Staring down the 1-1 pitch. Just gets a piece of that. It's going to go over towards his bench. Again, the Power up 13-7 after being down for most of the game. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Nothing in the fourth, but a 7-run fifth has exploded them out as that fastball explodes out of Johnny Young's hands to take down Lira and get his first K of the night.
A good job by Johnny there to bear down and get down in the zone with his stuff. And when you go right on left, it's all important to have a pitch that has the break to the other side, and he was able to do it there.
Looks like another sub here for the victory. As he gets that one off the end of his bat, Young in to field it, runs over to first, and gets the third out of the inning. Quick inning for Johnny Young, puts up another 0. Power back up to hit, up 6. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. We'll stretch. We'll be right back on the Power Baseball Network.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Welcome back. Bottom of the 7th inning here in Palm Springs. Pitching change for the victory. Agredano's night is over. Dylan Summers on the mound for Santa Clarita. And he'll face off against the heart of the power order. Noah Blythe leading it off. He's looking for his first at-bat of the game, or first hit of the game. He's got 3 at-bats so far. He's got a walk. He reached on a fielder's choice, struck out in the 5th. Looking to get the power started on the right note here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch by Summers. And that's going to catch the corner of the zone for a strike 1.
You know, Stephen, the Power well on their way to another victory here to begin their season, but really the CPCL season is what's important, and the Power kick off that right here against Inland Valley on Friday, and those are the games that count towards a potential another CPCL championship.
You'll be on that call, won't you?
I wasn't going to tease it too much, but yes, I will be on that call. Jay Cicinelli will be alongside me for a game that a lot are very excited to. All these Inland Valley teams, usually some pretty good competition for the Power, and the Power are going to have to go through all those Inland Valley teams to claim another title.
Well inside on Summers' fastball there, but gets the call. So Noah Blythe down 0-2 right now. Got to choke up, put something in play, and he almost does right there. Sends it down to the bullpen, and we'll redo the 0-2 count. Blythe right now, again, he scored in the 1st, scored in the 3rd, but flew out to center in the 4th, struck out in the 5th. And he's looking to get his first hit since his 2nd at-bat yesterday. Still batting average right around 500 as he swings right through that and gets his 2nd strikeout of the night.
Yeah, Noah's been a victim of a couple of relievers coming in and being their first batter. And when that happens, Steven, a reliever is just coming off the adrenaline of that rush in from the mound, and usually the fastball has a little more giddy up on it. The breaker has a little more drop in. Unfortunately, Noah's been the victim of a couple, his 2nd strikeout in as many at-bats.
And it's tough, too, especially considering there's almost a 10-mile-an-hour increase going from Agredano to Summers here, who's sitting at 86, as Mark Kirkland, the cleanup batter, comes in, takes ball 1 outside. And it's going to be tough to catch up to that after, I mean, it's been a while since you've been up 2 innings, and, I mean, he hadn't been seeing much heat for the first 3 at-bats of the game. Kirkland swings right through 86 right there.
And this is a nice little challenge here for Mark. He's been able to see a couple of off-speed pitches. He's able to have put a couple of barrels on them, but now he's going left on left with just a little bit of velocity. Not exactly what he's used to at Cal Baptist, but still enough to where he has to challenge himself and make sure he has his hands in a good position, ready to hit and ready to let those hands fly.
Kirkland, the Lancer, plays with another former Power player, Seth Maddox, who had a great season last year, 1.7 ERA. He'll be playing in the Cape this year, but he's had one heck of a night. Barely had to take the bat off the shoulders, though. He's had 2 walks already. Had a single, watches ball 2 right there. Had a single, 2 RBIs. He stole a base in the 5th inning after his walk. Flew out to left field, and he's made a couple solid plays out there in the outfield.
And I know that we're not going to beat anybody over the head with these walk stats, but it's important because in summer ball, it's easy. These games don't really count towards a conference championship or things like that, but he's still staying within his approach, and he takes another ball there. He's not allowing himself, just because the environment's different, to change what he's good at. He's at his best when he's able to look for his pitch in the heart of the zone and drive runners in. He's not getting too swing happy and swinging at pitches that he has no problem swinging at, especially when he's in good fastball counts.
And right now with Eli Brown day-to-day, not in the lineup today, Mark Kirkland's a pitch away from nearly doubling the team lead. And he does right there, takes his 7th walk of the year, 3rd of the day.
And we just saw it right there. It's easy, very easy to get outside of that approach and try to put one over the Raising Cane sign in right field. But he does a good job of just keeping the bat on his shoulder, understanding what Dylan Summers is bringing to the table, and it brings back the man of the night, Aiden Torek.
And I'm sorry, that's not his 7th walk. That's his 8th walk of the year, so he's already doubled Eli Brown's total for second place on the team. Mark Kirkland running away with the team lead in walks. Summers' first pitch to Aiden Torek right there is low for a ball. Torek again had the eventful fifth inning home run, a single, 3 RBIs. He had a double in the third, and he is trying to run away. Could right here put his case in to completely run away with player of the game.
He has 4 RBIs, 3 hits. It's really hard to not come away with that title.
Torek watches another pitch low. Kirkland's run and throw down is not in time. And Kirkland gets by on another, what should be ruled a passed ball. Or
Absolutely not, sir. This is a catcher's love broadcast, and since it hit the dirt, it has to go down as a wild pitch. For those that don't know, off air, me and Steven agreed. Lots of catcher's love in this booth all summer long.
And Turk fights one off into center. That's going to just get down. Kirkland's rounded for home, and there's not going to be a throw from Piper. Torek with another RBI, his 5th of the night. Power up 7, 14-7 here in the bottom of the 7th.
I mean, what hasn't he done tonight? He's been able to go over the wall with power. And on a pitch that is in on his hands, this is not off of the barrel, Steven. He's able to use that strength that he has in that frame to get the ball off his hands and deposit it into center field. 4 hits, 5 RBIs tonight from Aiden Torek, and I think we have a runaway favorite for player of the game.
Dalton Thomas, who's gone on base about as much as you possibly can without your first hit of the year. Trying to change that here, but again, he's been putting together some fantastic at-bats. He's already walked twice tonight. Had a couple great plays out at second and might have saved a run with his dive back, and he shoots one out into center field. That's going to get down for his first hit of the year. Torek's round into third, Thomas into second, and we've got 2 on. Thomas as his first hit of the year, and Richie Amaviska has 2 in runner in scoring position.
And that's got to feel good for Thomas. There's nobody else on this team that everybody is constantly rooting for. He's been a leader on this team, and he finally is able to get a barrel on a ball that finds its way down. You know he's got to feel good about it. And now Richie Amaviska, an opportunity to make this game a little bit more of a blowout than we anticipated if you were joined us here in the 3rd inning.
Thomas, who, again, hasn't been able to get the bat on the ball much, but he's been putting together great at-bats. And Amaviska sends a shot down the line. That's going to get past third base. Going after it is Mendoza. Thomas and Torek both score. Throw gets by Voles at second base, but Amaviska is going to stay there with a double. Back-to-back doubles for the Power, and there's 2 RBIs for Richie Amaviska.
Richie Amaviska has an opportunity to come up with runners in scoring position. He does it again, and if not for Aiden Torek, would be our player of the game. His 3rd hit of the game, he scored twice, driven 2 in, and 16 runs on 14 hits. You wouldn't even have remembered what this game was like back in the 3rd or the 4th inning.
And just like that, EJ, more aggressive base running for the Power. Another mound meeting, seems like the 5th one in the last couple innings, but more of that aggressive base running leads to more runners scoring, and another hustle double for Richie Amaviska. And Derek Houston right here looking for, he's already got his first hit of the year, trying to make that 2. Had a single, he scored, and again, he could push the Power even farther ahead, put them up 10 with a hit here. Houston waits for his first pitch from Summers. Kicks and deals. Fights that one off into the netting. 0-1. Houston, a late addition to the roster at a point where the Power, they weren't really sure if they were going to have a second catcher, with a couple guys coming in late due to NCAA tournaments. He came over from Utah Valley.
I remember that conversation in our group chat. Somebody thought that, I would have to bring some gear and suit up for the Power. Actually, the conversation happened that I would be the bullpen catcher for Casey Dill, but, we decided it's best to hang the cleats up and let me live in the past.
Summers with the 0-1 pitch. Or 1-1, I'm sorry. And that one's fought off into the parking lot.
Could still be a good promotion. Have an intern be a bullpen catcher for one day in the life of the Palm Springs Power.
I mean, you could do it and maybe, show up enough. We could get you a pinch hit at bat, late innings. Maybe do some mic'd up content. But right now, Derek Houston tries to fight that one off but can't get it. Misses on the breaking ball, strikes out his second of the night. And here comes Nick Eli. I'm sorry, this isn't Nick Eli. We've got a pinch hitter here. It's Kenny Schechter. That ball in the dirt. Gets past Cantu. Amaviska moves up to third.
No, you have it right. This is Kenny Schechter.
Had a bit of a bit of hesitation right there, saying that that pitcher is pinch hitting. But yes, Kenny Schechter pinch hitting right now.
You want to go ahead and read off his hitting stats?
I don't have them. And Schechter watches that ball inside, gets past Cantu, but Amaviska's going to stay at third.
And for those that don't know, when it comes to why we're having so much fun about Kenny Schechter, Kenny threw an inning yesterday in the win over Southern Nevada, and he's a pitcher from LSU Shreveport. And so that's why we were a little taken aback by the fact that he's getting a pinch hit AB here, but he's ahead 2-0, and see if he's going to swing the bat a little bit.
Yeah, Schechter's been all over the block. The Massachusetts native with the 2-0 count watches that one way outside. Started off at East Carolina, went over to COD for a year, parlayed that into a trip over to Rhode Island. Then he went over to Rhode Island, then COD, took that year at COD, went over to LSU Shreveport where he's at right now, and he fights that one off for a base hit. Kenny Schechter with an RBI single here in the seventh. Power up 17-7.
Kenny Schechter comes from the bullpen, folks, and he gets the call from Casey Dill to come have some fun here in the seventh inning, and he drives in a run, and Casey Dill says that's enough, and he's going to have Joey Jimenez come in and run for Schechter. And that's a fun moment. That's what you get here in summer baseball, Steven. You have these guys that have spent the last 7-8 months in grueling weight rooms and 6 a.m. calls and late innings at the field. And this is the opportunity where you can get a relief pitcher in AB, and he comes through and he drives in a run. That's what it's all about here in the desert during the summer.
You want a fun stat?
Let me hear it.
Kenny Schechter has more hits than he's allowed. I mean, sure, that's in a one-inning sample size.
Whoa. No, we don't have to put terms on it.
Yeah, we don't need to put numbers to it. We could just say it for what it is. Manji watches the ball too. Again, Manji up to hit. He's got a walk, got a single, a double, sac fly for an RBI. He's got 4 RBIs on the night. Bases clearing double in the fifth, and has a chance to do it again with Joe Jimenez on first. Manji watches strike one.
Kenny Schechter I can't get over it. I can't get over. That's the kind of stats you only get if you're a Cronkite grad, am I right?
I mean, not just more hits than allowed, but more hits than base runners allowed.
Also a devoted Celtics fan who claimed to us during a pregame that the Celtics would win in 6.
I think you disagree with that. Well, 2-2 pitch here with 2 outs to Mosley. To Manji. Getting the pitchers that I talked to today a little mixed up, but Manji up to hit. 3-2 count. 2 outs. Pitch from Summers. Fouled back. Manji still got life. Again, Austin Haller on deck. If he can keep it going, Noah Blythe Still looking for his first hit of the night, couple Ks. But right now it's Summers and Manji. Manji fouls it off again. We'll do it again. With what is a kind of depleted lineup with some guys who are needing rest, banged up here and there. Some guys still haven't came into town. I mean, Kenny Schechter, why not get him an at-bat? And Manji right there will take a generous call for strike 3. Backwards K for him right there. Leaves Joe Jimenez stranded at first, but the Power put up 4 in the 7th. Going into the 8th, the Power 6 outs away from making it 23 in a row. We'll be right back on the Power Broadcasting Network.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit Agua.
Back here for the 8th inning in Palm Springs. Scotty Piper, top of the victory lineup, leading it off against Johnny Young, going in for his 3rd inning of work. Young with the fastball just outside for ball 1.
You know, we've talked so much, Steven, about some of these COD guys and, you know, just liking the fit, liking the staff, liking what Casey brings to the table, but as Piper fouls this one away, Johnny was talking about this is his 3rd summer in Palm Springs, and he's looking for his 3rd championship in the PSCL, which begins here in a couple of weeks. But to be out here in Palm Springs every summer, you have to have almost a love affair. And we were talking before the game. He says he views Palm Springs as his second home, and when he's originally from Redding, and here is still in California.
Is a common theme with a lot of these guys. Whether I don't know if it's the atmosphere or I'm thinking it could just be the coaching staff in general, because if you talk to any of these guys, they'll speak glowingly on whether it's Casey Dill, Sam DiMatteo, Reed Santos, the entire coaching staff, whether it's here, COD. They all talk so glowingly about how these guys are almost family at this point. And, I mean, Casey, it's kind of a laid-back approach as the 2-1 pitch comes in for – that was the 3-1 pitch, ball 4 right there for Scotty Piper. But it's a more laid-back approach. You don't have a coach constantly on your neck like you do at a lot of these Division I programs, but it's that confidence that they have to just let the guys go out and make plays. As another change in the lineup right here, number 29 for the victory, Pablo Rodriguez in to hit. Rodriguez fights that one off. Dalton Thomas will come on and catch the lazy fly ball. Piper will stay at first, and we've got one out.
That'll make Rodriguez 0 for 2 with his fielder's choice he had back in the 6th. And, you know, it's been exciting and to see all these players that Coach Smith has been able to see. This is what also summer is about. It's about getting reps for guys that may not have gotten it at their schools, you know, during the regular season. So it's good on Coach Smith allowing a lot of his guys that didn't necessarily get the start tonight to get into the game and to start to see some pitching from the Power.
And another little surprising changeup. Jorge Martinez, the starting pitcher, in here to bat for his catcher, Jared Cantu. Looks like Cantu's night could be done, and Martinez will figure out what's going on defensively with the change, but Martinez going to get a couple hacks in.
Might as well, right?
I mean, might as well give him a chance, try and get something going. Victory doing such a great job pouncing on the power early on, put up a 2-spot in the first. And Martinez fights that one off into center field, but Torek will settle under it.
Not too bad of a swing.
Piper will go back to first, and we've got 2 outs for Toby White. Another pinch hitter here for Tommy Mendoza. First pitch from Young. Looked like a breaker down in the zone, and he got him chasing.
This is what you want to see if you're Johnny Young. You're not necessarily scheduled to pitch in these games, but when you don't exactly get the length out of some of your starters, your middle relief guy, that's what Johnny Young's role has been.
Light fights that one off. Amavisca, long throw, but he gets it in time. Haller had to stretch for it. Quick inning for the Power. They'll go back to hit in bottom of the 8th. Haller, Blythe, and Kirkland due up. We'll be right back on the Power Broadcasting Network.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history?
Back here for the bottom of the 8th inning. Looks like there's not going to be much going on defensively. Cantu still behind the dish. But Austin Haller here to lead it off for the Power. Up 17-7 here in Palm Springs, looking for win number 23 in a row. Summers' first pitch. Haller chops that one to first. Hayek's going to take that one straight back to the bag. Quick 1 pitch, 1 out here for Dylan Summers.
First pitch hacking for Haller, and you got to like the left-on-left matchup. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see how these guys, the Kirklands and Austin Hollers of the world, how they'll respond to it. Kirkland was able to take him into a deep count, and Haller, saw a pitch he liked and still put it about 85 off the bat, just right in the direction of Hayek.
Mark Kirkland walked his last time up. He's walked 3 times today. He has 8 on the year, but he's got a couple RBIs with his single in the first. Umpire's going to go have a talk with Dylan Summers after.
Voiles actually is the catcher that came in behind the dish. He is listed as one of the reserve catchers, and he did what catchers do. He wore one off a foul ball from Noah Blythe, and guess what? They're going to continue going after that. The life of a catcher.
Yeah, Voiles, he pinch hit for Tommy Ruther in the 7th, and Voiles in there and immediately getting tagged with one. That can't feel good. But he's back in there, taking one for the team, and we'll have a 0-1 pitch to Noah Blythe, I'm sorry. Noah Blythe still looking for his first hit of the game. Struck out twice. He's got a walk. And he takes a generous strike 2 call right there. Couple inches below the zone. Blythe in an 0-2 count. Summers kicks in, deals. Blythe shoots that one out to center field, but Piper's going to get right under it and take that for the second out of the inning.
And Noah, it's going to show up that he went out without a hit today. But his 2 fly balls to center field have been absolutely tagged. And I think that's what Noah's going to be able to hang his hat on tonight, that he may not have had a hit, but he did take some good at-bats. But as much of a competitor as Noah is, he's probably not going to be the happiest, but he's definitely had some good moments tonight, though the box score tomorrow morning might not show it.
Yeah, it's got to hurt a little bit knowing you hit a ball earlier in the game 300 and probably 86 feet, and that one's just a simple F8. You slam this one, could have got down into the gap, but that one just hangs up long enough to be another F8. But Mark Kirkland watches the 1-0 pitch down in the dirt. Ball 2, Kirkland. Bases empty, 2 outs. Again, 3 walks on the night. Has a chance for his second hit. Chance to set it up for the man of the night, Aiden Torek, to possibly get a chance.
You know, it's a good day for you, and you've been helping your team when you're 1 for 2 and you were coming to the plate for the 6th time in the game.
Kirkland watches the pitch, down in the dirt, gets away from Voyers.
And by that reaction, I think Mark's even a little sick of getting on base that much. Didn't really get a hittable pitch in that at-bat.
Kirkland, I mean, it sounds like I've been saying it all day, but he walks again. That's his 9th of the season. Really boosting the on-base percentage tonight, and who better to do it for than Aiden Torek? He struck out in the first, but since then, double, home run, and he slams that one into left field, just past the glove of Mullet. Kirkland will settle on second, Torek on first, and that's his 4th hit of the night. I'm sorry, 5th hit of the night. Torek sets it up for Dalton Thomas, who got his first hit of the season last inning. Double into center field. He's walked a couple times, has a sacrifice fly for an RBI. Watches Summers pitch and sends that one back towards us. Just short of the press box. EJ, I love the effort getting out there to catch it.
Well, you know, you got to have a good first step. I really thought I had a chance at it, and you know, the open windows here at the press box gives you a little freedom to try and make a play, and we're going to have an opportunity at some point this season to catch one.
They teach you that in winter ball in Concordia?
Winter ball, fall ball, when you're playing Division III baseball, you're going to have an attempt at everything.
Well, Thomas got an attempt at his second hit here. It's a 1-1 count, 2 outs, but he's got 2 on. Kirkland on second, Torek on first, and Summers, 1-1 pitch. Chopped off, gets Summers' glove, and throw down from short is going to get Thomas in time, but the Power are going to go to the top of the 9th, 3 outs away from their 23rd win in a row. We'll be right back. Top of the 9th coming up here on the Power Broadcasting Network.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
We're back top of the 9th. Bring the whole family this summer to a Palm Springs Power baseball game every Saturday at Palm Springs Stadium. Is Jack in the Box Kids Night with all kids 12 and under receiving free admission. Games start at 7 with tickets available at the Palm Springs Stadium box office. Affordable fun for the whole family every Saturday night this summer with Power Baseball. We've got a pitching change. Holden Phelps is all done and coming in. Number 28. It's going to be Zach Wallace out there on the mound.
Yeah, Zach out of Mercer University and trying to have a little different result than he had the last time out on the hill. Struggled with his command just a little against the SoCal Mavericks. And you talk to everybody around him that they have all the confidence in the world in Zach. But as we said, Steven, it's a summer ball opportunity where you're not really used to everything. You're pitching off a different mound for the first time. And, you know, good things to come here for Zach. Let's see if he can start it off here in this 9th inning against Santa Clarita.
Mercer University. I'm pretty sure if my research is right. That's the alma mater of our president and owner, Andrew Starkey.
Was that on your Palm Springs Power media guide?
No, that was not. But Kaufner in for the first strike.
Kaufner flew out back in the 6th.
And Kaufner fights off strike 2 against Zach Wallace. Again, he flew out to center. Other than that, it was Lance Middleman for the first 3 at-bats in that 5-hole. Kaufner down 0-2 to Wallace, who spikes one in the dirt. It was 90, a fastball right there, just held on to it a little too long. Had Houston set up down low, but the Power right now, a strike away from getting the first out, 3 outs away from win 23 in a row. It would be a 4-0 start to the season. It would be a 4-0 start at home, and right now there's a meeting at the mound with Zach Wallace. Trainer's coming out. Casey Dill coming out. And we all hope that everything's okay with Wallace. He was pointing at his arm.
That's the last thing you want to see, especially here in the summertime. And there's no real good time to get injured, but in a time where you're really just honing in on your craft and keeping things sharp, the last thing you want to be doing is, you know, having to deal with an arm issue that could, you know, carry over into your seasons. And he does not like it, and that should be the end for him, and it will be.
We all hope that it's nothing too major right there, but Zach Wallace visibly frustrated, just 3 pitches into his outing tonight. He's coming out, and Reed Santos and head coach Casey Dill need to find someone else to take over right now.
Looks like they're going to pick from the infield and having an opportunity. It's not going to be anybody else, but it looks like
Number 13, Richie Amavisca, coming in from third base. He'll finish off the last 3 outs for the Power right now, but while he warms up, we'll go to a break. We'll be right back.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home?
fans.
Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home?
Rudy's Flex 80-90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12. With just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12. Visit Rudy'sPest.com or call 760. Visit Rudy'sPest.com or call 760. Heck no, 12's gotta go. And declare Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice. So get started today. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice. So get started today.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow. Shopping for car insurance is confusing.
Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that, Ray?
I don't
now
know
we have
what
a cow in our
coverage to
kitchen.
choose.
Why did you say that? A State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude,
like a good
cow,
neighbor, State Farm is there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Family setting, you know, we come and lead at the top conversation and
family
it's
setting,
comfortable
we
here
come
is
and
what
we
I
get to
guess I'll say it's
conversation
comfortable.
and
The
It's
hot
comfortable
cocoa
here
has
is what I
whipped
guess I'll
cream
say
and
it's
sprinkles
comfortable.
in the hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles
Very
in
family
the whipped
oriented.
cream in the
They
hot
cater to the
cocoa.
kids. They got the color family oriented crayons. They cater to the kids. They have kids size stuff about almost for everything that you would want. They have kids size stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Welcome back here in Palm Springs for the top of the 9th inning. Couple defensive changes. Basically, everyone shifted over. One, Manji at third, Thomas at second, Thomas at short, Holler at second. Richie Amavisca coming in from third base to take over the at-bat. Pumps it in at 87. Replacing Austin Holler at first is Tyler Nelson. And again, Amavisca, the normal power third baseman, coming in to take over the rest of this at-bat. Fires the 2-2 pitch well outside. 87 again, though. Got a little excited, pulled it a little. And for a team that's seen its fair share of injuries for the first couple of games, hopefully nothing too serious right there for Zach Wallace. A bit of a scary scene, though, as he'll chop that one straight over to Holler. Holler delivers it to Nelson. We've got one out in the 9th.
And, when we're talking about him throwing 86, 87, Steven, he has to play third base a lot of the time, and that's not a position where you can have even an average arm. Most third basemen have to have at least an above-average arm, if not a great one, and Richie definitely falls under that category, and that's the reason why you see him still throwing where a lot of these pitchers have been throwing this season for not only the power but their opponents as well.
Kaufner fights off 86, and again, Amavisca fires in 86 right at Theo Hayek. Coming in with no one on, and at this point, barring any miracle, one of a handful of guys the Power are going to need to face as he fights that one off, and it's foul. Power one strike away from 2 outs, and 2 outs away from another win. It'll be a perfect home start, and it'll lead them 2-0 on this week, going into a game on Saturday, or Friday. EJ will be on the call for that one. It'll be against the Inland Valley Pirates here at Palm Springs Stadium. Richie Amavisca kicks and deals and gets Kaufner swinging. I'm sorry, that was Hayek. 2 outs here in the 9th.
If you're a Palm Springs Power fan, if you're a parent, a friend joining us, you want to be able to tune into that Friday game, go ahead and just hit the little bell right here on YouTube so you can be reminded when we go live for that game. I will be on that call, and Jason Cicinelli will be joining me for what looks to be a good matchup in the opening of the CPCL schedule for the Power.
Hayek goes down swinging, and it leads to Voiles. He's got a hit on the night, and a little bit of a check swing there, but gets it off the knob of the bat. 0-1 pitch, Amavisca deals, and that one's fouled off again. Phil's again, one of the many Santa Clarita natives, went to Valencia High School, and he's familiar with all these guys, and surely will have a solid season with Santa Clarita. He'll watch ball one, a little high. But for Richie Amavisca, a breaking ball there at 80. I mean, it's for coming in on basically no notice. I mean, pumping 86, 87, 88. It's pretty impressive from Richie. Amavisca with the 1-2 count. Fires in there, gets the corner, strike 3, and the Power have won 4 in a row to start the year. Win 23 in a row, 4-0 at home to start the season. And another one in dominant fashion, 17 runs on the night. Final score 17-7. Holden Phelps will be the winning pitcher on the night. Rankins will get the loss, and right now, EJ looks like going into Friday's game, Power can't do much wrong so far,
Well,
outside of a couple errors.
They've done a little bit of everything, Steven. Not only have they punched a team in the face early and coasted the rest of the way, but now they're able to say that they have dealt with adversity. They were down early to start this game. They were down for an inning. Not only just a half inning, they were down for a full inning, and they found a way to battle back, highlighted by a 7-run outburst in the 5th inning. And Casey Dill's got to feel good about where his club's heading into in the CPCL schedule.
The most exciting game so far this year, honestly the most suspenseful, the only one with really any tension so far. The Power went down early, but they were able to fight back for their first comeback win of the year. And then, again, they scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. But a 7-run 5th inning really set them apart. So we'll have the interview with Aiden Tork down on the field later. You can see that on our Instagram and Twitter. But for now, Power went 4 in a row and an offensive outburst once again. And they'll go on to the next game on Friday. From EJ Sanchez, I'm Stephen Buxton. Thanks to everyone here, all our wonderful crew of interns, and we'll see you again on Friday from a beautiful night in Palm Springs. Thank you for joining us.